Hey everyone, and welcome to D4, where I, Devin.
And I, Dustin, codium a 5th edition game of Dungeons & Dragons.
Yay!
As you can see, we are down a bard at the moment because, well, he's on a grand adventure, and we'll see what happens later on if he comes back.
Yeah, when and or if.
But let's get on with our show. Yeah, here we go. You ready?
Who needs Harold?
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Well, howdy, y'all.
Wait, are we? What are we doing back?
Well, some idiot decided to make a deal with some guy and got himself hitched into another dimension down yonder.
Oh, will he be back?
Now, who knows? Who cares? We're here to talk about Eldritch Foundry.
Oh, you know, I really gotten into those dang old Dungeons and Dragons games, and these little plastic people, oh, they sure are darn heckin' lifelike, and I was afraid one of them hag creatures cursed my friends.
Now, we went over this last time. Ain't no man, woman, yes, or anyone in between that can turn people into plastic.
Oh, what about a Medusa? Or a Basilisk? Oh, or that darn Xanathar.
That's stone. Now, pay attention.
Hey, what if I wanted to play a bandit or an angel or a military guy in a post-apocalyptic setting?
Well, hay is for horses. But you can be any of those in a new, huge selection of items, clothes, headgear, weapons, hair options, and more in the coming weeks.
Well, hell, that sounds like a root-tootin' good time. But what if I want one now?
Well, you can enter hashtag Eldritch into the chat at RockPunch ATL's Twitch channel for your chance to win a free miniature from the Elder Gods themselves over at Eldritch Foundry.
Yeah, I also found an extra set of these mythic dice laying around here.
Don't go messing around with those. The energy pouring off those things is insane. You know what? All you out there, enter hashtag Beyond to win this set of digital mythic dice from D&D Beyond. So Emmett here, don't get them.
Well, how about we give 2?
All right, I guess we'll give away 2 then.
That sounds, yeah, that sounds good. You know what? I'm going to enter 400 times to win.
Please don't let him win. Enter only once to not be disqualified. I'm sure someone more qualified will remind all of you out there about these giveaways throughout the show.
Yep. Now let's get to our sponsors.
Yeah.
Well, goodbye, country folk. And hello to me, a non-country person. Here to give you kind of a sweet summary of Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden. Now, I could go for eons, as I did last time, talking about the beginning parts of Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden, but D&D Beyond has actually provided you with a lot of information.
You're good.
Sum up?
Yep, you're good now.
Okay. And just like that, we're back in. Stuff like that can happen during Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden, where suddenly you'll lose your voice, taken from you by a giant digital owlbear, ripped from the heavens and stormed across the skies. But speaking of, both Todd Kenrick and James Heck have both written a lot about this to prepare you for the upcoming adventure. Icewind Dale has a long history in Dungeons and Dragons, and the fact that they are coming back to it means that they are not only going to be pulling from that history, but also adding a whole new line to it. So check that out. Pre-order now. It comes out, when was that? September
15th.
September 15th. That's what I thought.
You know what would go great with your order? A nice box from Beetle and Grimm's Pandemonium Warehouse, a Platinum Edition box for Rime of the Frost Maiden. It is available right now. They are, however, selling out. They're going quick. So if you're interested, get onto their website. That's beetleandgrimms.com or pandemoniumwarehouse.com and pick it up today. You can also procure one of these, the Gold Edition Eberron box, or the silver, what is going on there? Or the silver edition box for Descent into Avernus. So head on over there, pick your stuff up, and they've got some really cool things coming up. So keep an eye on their Twitch channel. Some of them are charity objects, including an item in their store right now, the Pride shirt, which a portion of the proceeds goes to the Trevor Project. So it's an awesome shirt for an awesome cause. Head over to their store and get yours today.
Hey, me, the other Katie. I know that you guys really like Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, we all really like Dungeons and Dragons, but what if you were in a world where you got this like really cool D20 from some goddess from like space or something, and it gave you magic powers, but you were like, this is cool, but like, I just feel like using this for personal advantage and just like having fun. You know what I mean? Which is why you guys should also watch Dice Lords made by RockPunch ATL. You can watch it in recent broadcasts. That's the word. The word is broadcast. Recent broadcasts on their stream channel, which of course is RockPunch ATL. It's where we are right now. It's where we always are. It's pretty great. It's pretty cool. Also, do you like this cat? Do you like him? Well, he's in it. He made his on-screen debut in Dice Lords. So just think about that. Think about that. RockPunch ATL.
And if you just want to check out d4dnd.com, we have a bunch of merch on there. And before the digital owlbear comes for my connection or my background even, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it back to the DMs.
Without further ado, let us immerse ourselves
into the Chronicles of D4.
and we're back.
Yes.
Last time on Dogmatic Doomsayers and a Distraught Dictator. As the group gathers to talk about what to do in the field ward, there's a flash of light that emanates near the front door that ushers them to investigate. Standing where the homunculi of Avron was, Harold's patron, dissolved. They find a red-haired elf teleporting in and learn that it is Sophias, Avron's wife and member of Silver and Steel. Much like Avron's homunculi, they find out she is actually a clone of the original Sophias, who has been sent to ask Harold to help his friend Orkira, who is in danger. She was not sure when the signs to leave would come and join them on their venture to the field ward.
As the party heads off to the field ward, Voss heads to meet up with Istrid at the yawning portal to discuss resurrecting a certain goldfish. The discussion was hard-pressed when he discovered she charges a service fee of 100 dragons, and that was the discount rate for fellow Doom Readers. The rest of the BFGs and Sophias head to the field ward and begin their day by teaching reading, bolstering morale by speaking and entertaining, and even teaching a few launderers prestidigitation through the magical weave of Mistra. As the group is walking around, they come to a halfling woman with blue skin who is doom speaking about the end of days, skies turning to blood, the earth quivering below them, and bugbears on the moon.
Soon after, a cart overturned, spilling spoiled fruit, and out, while the party helps pick it up and kind of gathering the spilled, spoiled fruit, Boss's coin purse is taken by a small child who takes off running, causing a chase as the party chases after. Finally, catching the boy and discovering he is the son of the cart owner, who was the overturning was a con and a distraction. Seisha actually speaks to him and offers a job to him and his son. At that point, V gets a paper bird message from Renair telling them to head back to the tavern so they could say goodbye to Salazar, who was heading out on his first Order of the Gauntlet mission. As they head to the Spirits of Troll Skull and learn Salazar is headed to a small farming village to stop some shadows, which he's confused about because everyone has shadows and his shadow has never turned on him, but he is excited to be an adventurer finally.
While they are at the tavern, Yosef trips and falls over a patron of wearing some nice clothing, and they learn from the patron that his last name is Hailing Horse, as the patron was a former servant of a noble family that was killed during the massed murders only a year ago. But Yosef had been missing for more than 2 years at this point. As they settle down to eat some of their favorite foods from Sophia's, as she magically procures from her bag that has some strange purple tentacles that come out of it, that she says is her pet. The ground outside crumbles away as the Xanathar himself floats out with a small posse of Durgar and a blue and copper dragonborn, or bronze dragonborn. The Xanathar beholder demands the return of Silgar as his flesh melts off and he turns into a death tyrant.
The fight is hard, but aid comes from Zaraj across the street, as well as Salazar and Renair, who join the fight. As the fight rages on, the BFGs are paralyzed, charmed, put to sleep, beaten down and brought back up when they can, as the central eye of the Death Tyrant does not allow one's wounds to be healed. But they finally are able to best it when Harold's patron himself, Averin, joins the fight. And eventually they bring him down. And as the crumbling skull falls to the ground, the skies turn red, and red lightning crackles across the sky. The ground shakes all throughout Waterdeep, and as Averin looks up, tells the group that he has to leave. He has another place to be. He teleports out. And as soon as he leaves, Sophias and Harold feel something buzzing in their pocket, and as they pull out the coin with Averin's face on it, they disappear in a flash. And that is where we're going to pick up tonight's session.
The storm continues to surge across the sky in every direction, and where the sky should be a rainbow of colors painted across in a sunset, you see nothing but a color of blood. Tumultuous clouds roll, and the rumbling sounds of thunder echo across the sky. Flashes of red radiate through the clouds like flashes of light. For a second, you think you see a massive purple burst of light high in the clouds in a very, very far distance towards the north. The earth around you shakes and rumbles with an intense ferocity of tremors that cause countless fissures throughout the city, and people begin to panic and scatter with their eyes fixed to the skies.
The tavern rumbles as you hear the screams of patrons and kitchenware clattering to the ground. The shockwave that courses through the ground is enough to cause the earth to be difficult to navigate, but not enough to cause more than minor fissures and cracks here and there in the groundwork and architecture. You look to where Avon, Sophias, and Harold once stood, and it's as if they have been banished, leaving emptiness in their wake. But what begins to take their place are the 4 Duragar bodies that begin to twitch and stand, slack jaws, eyes vacant, groaning and shambling in your direction.
What do you do?
Roll for initiative?
Yeah.
You're good. You have to roll for initiative. Just tell me what you do.
I'm going to attack the undead.
Okay.
And put them down, and I still have my wings up, correct?
Your wings are still up.
Yep,
Okay.
they've only been up for...
I think it was 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Because it took me 3, because it took me 1 to get to him.
Yep, so 18
Second I
seconds.
attacked him. Yeah.
18 seconds.
You got 7 more rounds.
Woohoo! All right. I'm gonna smite. Well, not smite. I'm just going to beat them because they're zombies.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you go ahead and you swing on one. It's coming towards you. While you roll that, Voss, what are you doing?
So we got 4 zombies coming after us.
Yeah, 3 of them are in the corpses. The alchemist, the one that had the glass daggers, and then the one that had almost like sunken gaunt features. And the 4th one is the construct, the one in the suit of armor itself that isn't really armor, as it's more like itself shoved into an Iron Maiden.
Are they currently threatening anything like the bar or patrons around us?
They're shambling towards you all. Like,
okay,
Yep.
I will also attack.
Okay. Go ahead and
attack a separate one aside from Seisha and see if we can take all these down quickly.
Absolutely. Seisha, what'd you get to hit?
22.
Absolutely. What's your damage?
That's going to be 17 points of damage.
Okay. So 17 points of damage on that one.
Yes.
Cool. And then while Voss is rolling and dealing his damage, V, what are you doing? Oh, you're muted.
You're muted, babe.
It's weird. It doesn't say she is.
Yeah. Sorry. Besides getting that eyelash out of my eyeball.
So there's this zombified Durgar dwarf moving towards you, shambling towards you.
I take it.
Okay.
I hit it with a stick. No.
Yep. As Renair starts to make his way towards you, as this thing is going, he sees it lunging towards you and will move to flank with you, so you can make your attack at advantage.
Nice. Okay. I will do that.
While you're rolling that, Voss, what'd you get?
23 to hit.
That hits.
23 points of damage.
All right.
Yikes.
Okay, 19 to hit.
19 hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay.
Finley, what are you doing?
I'm gonna do a little Toll the Dead action since these guys are already dead.
Yeah.
On which one?
The one not being assaulted, the one
Okay.
probably walking up to me.
Okay.
Absolutely. Voss, you bring your rapier right through the neck as it goes up, and you watch as it like quivers for a second. You think it's gonna keep going, but it crumbles and falls to the ground. Don't forget, Seisha, you have a second attack.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I do, don't I?
Yep. How much damage did you do, V?
I did 10 damage, by the way.
10? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Go ahead and roll your second attack because it's still standing coming at you.
Yeah.
And wisdom save,
Mhm.
it fails on your Toll the Dead, Vinley.
So that's
Second
10.
attack's 8.
8 will still hit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I accidentally rolled damage, not an 8. My bad. I fucked that up. But
There's
No big
zombies,
deal.
they don't have very good hit points or very good armor
well,
class.
12, okay.
8 points of damage, total.
Yeah.
Okay.
8 points of damage.
Renair comes in with 2 quick slashes with his rapier.
Wow. He just critted on both.
I just rolled
Oh, yeah!
Hold on.
That's our man.
Maybe?
2.
No.
No. Okay. Yeah. So and with that, he'll quick slash and decapitate it. Vinley, how much damage did you do?
I did 10 points of damage, and I'm also moving towards Voss, like, a little help here, as I'm like trying to cast spells at it.
And as you're doing, you're still invisible though, right?
No, I dropped that.
Okay. So as that Salazar, like, oh, where'd you come from? Hold on, I got him. And he like moves his hands and he begins to like rake across the sky or like just the air, and you see the flaming sphere move into the zombie, the Durgar that you were attacking, Binley.
Will fail, so it will take its. So add 4 more fire damage to that one. And as you start to backing up, like moving up with Voss, Seisha, what was your next damage?
Damage is 13.
13. Okay.
Yeah. And it hit.
And as you cut into it, you actually watch as you cleave mostly from the neck all the way down, and you watch as the head begins to like just hang off, and he goes to collapse, but he goes to a knee and then stands back up, head just hanging on by a loose bit of flesh as he continues to move towards you.
Oh, you think you're special, don't you?
Soaring through the air is a long black arrow with a spiral periton fletchings that slams and embeds itself into the side of the housing building adjacent from the front of the manor. A thin rope infused with threads of adamantine stretches taut against the anchored arrow from the large bow now lodged into the frame of the greenhouse window. Hanging from a folded belt of leather is the intense and stoic gray-skinned half-orc Zaraj, as he slides down before dropping and rolling across the ground, pulling his massive kukri glaive from his back. But that is his turn.
Yep. He is going to land in front of you, Vinley. As he,
so cool.
as he lands, pulls the glaive down and and puts himself between you and the mechanical zombie, the zombie in the mechanized suit, who is coming towards you.
She'll just say, "Thanks for the help, big guy."
Seisha, the one on you is going to try to attack you, but an 18, I'm pretty sure, is going to miss you.
Nope, miss.
Voss does a 7 hit you.
No, it does not, sir.
And then on Zaraj.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't hit him.
Got it. Yeah. So the one doesn't attack you, Voss. That one was, you killed that one. He failed his undead fortitude. So
got it. Right.
So Seisha, the one on you, you go ahead and make another attack roll.
Yep.
V, you
hit and 13.
What in 13?
Well, the first one's going to be a 23.
Oh yeah. Both hit. Roll both your damage. Just hold on before you. Okay. Go ahead and give me your damages.
10 for, or I'm sorry, 12 for the first one.
Yep.
And 18 for the second.
Okay, so the first one, you cut into its stomach, its entrails spill out as again it collapses to a knee, but gets back up. And as it gets up, before it stands up completely, you just take its head completely off, and it crumbles to the ground.
Boss, there is one more. You see that Zaraj is standing near it. It has a flaming spear literally burning into it.
For brevity's sake, I'm going to say all of you, with you and all of your allies, easily take this one out.
Yeah.
Even though its armor class is a little bit higher because it's in the mechanized suit, but you're easily able to bring it down as well. And you kind of get the sense now, Vinley will say, just with your passive arcana, that witnessing both these and the Dragonborn from earlier, that anything that falls and dies within the eye of this death tyrant immediately animates into a zombie.
Okay.
I would like to go get a fragment of his skull.
Okay, we can get into that. As you're doing this, after all of the bodies in the Durgar fall, once again you watch Zaraj calmly and methodically sever the heads of each of the former undead.
Renair kind of steps up to you and
goes to you, V.
V.
And with a look of concern that floods his cheery calm that he typically has, he sheathes his blades and brushes your hair out of your face as he looks up to you.
I've never fought a death tyrant before, but I've heard tale of the deadly effects of their main eye. Seems the rest is about the same. Are you all right?
Yeah, I just this was a lot more than I had planned to do today.
Of course you're fine. You can take a hit harder than most anyone I know. I was worried when I saw you fall, and I kept trying to get to you, but
I needed a mid-fight nap. Yeah.
We should work on your mental resilience. I know Vajra has a diviner, I think, that specializes in matters of the psyche. Maybe we could have them look into strengthening your mind there.
Really? You really think so?
I think so, yes.
Seisha is positioned herself behind Renair so he can't see her, but she's in V's line of sight.
V's just sort of making
Renair's Renair turns around and
she stops.
Right.
Sorry, I saw some birds. They were
Flaps her wings.
doing weird. Don't worry about it. They're just really weird birds.
He kind of smiles and just again like he kind of grabs your hand and just squeezes it. I'm glad you're all right.
And as Rhaenyra is squeezing your hand, Zaraj is looking over everyone intently and silently before walking up to you, Seisha, and you, V. He looks you in the eye and then to your wounds. Almost aggressively, but not harmfully, he rubs his hands together and tries to place his hands on your wounds.
Yeah, I'll let him.
Yeah, I'll let him touch me.
Okay.
Sounded weird. That was phrasing. Sorry.
I consent to his touch.
Okay. As you see a familiar glow begin to emanate from his hands, and he hovers over your wounds. Seisha, you can heal 3, and V, you can heal 18.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
I'm at full.
All the way up to full for both of you.
Yay.
As he lay on hands you.
Thank you.
But those that are looking over the bodies and the skull of the former Xanathar, go ahead and make investigation checks.
Oh.
Where's my investigation? Yes.
What'd you get?
Got
Natural
a dirty
20.
20.
Oh.
Oh.
24.
What is your total, boss?
25.
25. Ooh. By one.
By one.
So who is everybody searching?
We'll just say everybody's searching just kind of everyone.
Okay. Yeah.
On the Durgar, you find a piece of parchment created from what looks to be tanned fish skin.
Oops, someone fell.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, MMR. Behind the scenes production team is dropping things.
All right, so you find a piece of parchment that looks to be tanned fish skin. On it is a facial composite sketch of a drow that looks very similar to Gnarl. On 2 of the bodies is a dose of what you've come to recognize as a single dose of assassin's blood, similar to the vials you found in the Shrine of Talona.
We can say, Voss, with your natural 20, you find those and you're the one who finds those.
Gotcha.
As you look amongst the bone fragments, Seisha, you can easily collect one of those shards. The large jagged teeth and horned spike growths protruding out from around the 10 sunken eye stalk divots that crown the massive skull of the former aberration. In those ocular cavities, you see holes that lead deeper into the area of where the cerebrum once was. Through those holes, you all hear, because you all got really good investigation checks, something small rattling around as a small glint from an ornate golden ring with a pink sapphire gemstone in the center is found.
I got the smallest arms. I'm reaching my hand on in.
An ocular hole actually is too small for a hand to fit into.
I'll take my sword and just smash the
Now it's
pommel
big
into
enough
it so she
to
can
fit
reach
your hand
it.
As Seisha smashes it, you reach in and easily grab that golden ring.
Interesting.
You want to identify it or you want me to?
Do you have the ability to right now?
Cast identify.
Okay. You recognize this ring as a ring of resistance, a magically enchanted ring known for giving the wearer resistance to a type of damage depending on the inset gemstone. The pink sapphire is an indicator of being attuned to the evocation of force damage.
Oh, you're going to want to hold on to this.
And you also know that it can resize to fit any finger size.
Seisha will explain all that to Venli.
Oh, that's how he did that.
Yeah.
I was wondering. She just kind of like slides it on her finger.
Yeah, and as it slides on, it doesn't quite resize. You probably are going to have to spend some time with it and attune yourself to it before it'll really resize to your finger.
Yeah, I just There we go.
rather loose and large right now, but
Oh, then on the thumb.
I would like to speak to Renair.
Okay.
yeah, he's
Cross.
Is that everything we find?
yes, that is everything you find.
On the Dragonborn, he was a monk. He had robes.
Robes. Yep.
That's it.
Okay.
Yep.
Just making sure.
Renair is
I'm gonna study the fish skin.
It just looks like instead of parchment paper, it is a really thin tanned hide of fish scales.
Was this the picture was on it?
yes.
Okay, I thought that was a separate piece. Okay,
No,
never mind then.
it literally has a composite sketch of Gnarl.
Yeah. Okay.
You come over and he's like kind of wrapping a bandage around one of his arms where he had taken some of the damage, and he's just like tying it tight against it. But other than that, he looks, doesn't look worse for wear.
Good.
And as you approach, he looks up. Got your mind about you now?
Yes. Now that the unpleasantness is finished, thank you for, I kind of smirk, sparing me.
Usually when mind-altering magics take over, a good punch to the face will allow the mind to draw itself out. It didn't work on this one, so I imagine the Death Tyrant's ray is a bit different from that of normal mind-altering magics.
I'll keep that in mind nonetheless.
How's your
Thank
jaw?
you for your... I'll survive. The Xanathar is dead. At least I'm under the assumption this was it. Or what we saw earlier.
Appears to be the case.
I have to ask, is there a city bounty for this thing?
Your guess is as good as mine. Perhaps talk to Laurel, the Open Lord.
Could you arrange that?
I can probably, yeah. I can set something up.
I would appreciate that greatly if you could do that then.
Of course.
So that we could be all of us here.
I think it.
Perhaps.
I think it would be good for you all to meet with her as well. She's good people.
Guys,
Hmm.
what's that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Yeah, and it's almost as if like Renair for the first time is noticing it because he was very fixated on V's well-being, and then Voss came up, and which is kind of odd because he's very attuned to his surroundings, but he kind of looks up and goes, "By the gods, I don't know what that is."
Is that what Averin was talking about? The thing that's coming?
Who's
The
Avery?
thing- He's a guy. He's a trickster guy. He used to be a god, but he's not anymore.
It was the bald guy that came for like.
That was really
1 second.
impressive, given what he did
Oh
last time.
God!
Trickster.
So it's a god, but he's a trickster god. So what if it's just a dude that says he's a god, and that's the trick?
Right?
Oh my
That's
God,
what I'm thinking.
Salazar, that's genius.
It is. Hey,
So
Salazar,
like he is a
you did
trick.
great.
Does that still make him a trickster god?
I think, yeah. But I mean, he left with Sophias and Harold, so maybe that's what he was talking about. Do we need to protect people or something? And her wings fade.
It-
Oh.
Is there anything in our immediate danger from this thing, or is the sky just red and ominous?
Eyes red. The trimmer has calmed.
It's like low vibrations. You can still feel it, but it went from like a 5-6 to like a 1-2. It wasn't enough to cause buildings to fall. There are small, like I said, there are small fissures in the architecture and stuff like that are signs that it has happened, but it's not besides the blood red skies and the tumultuous clouds and the red lightning that's still happening. That's about it.
Yep.
What do we do?
I don't.
Oh, we need to tell the guard what happened. Otherwise, they're going to be really, really mad at us.
I
Oh,
was planning on
yeah.
going to Vajra. Now that I can't reanimate any of these useless creatures.
And as you guys are sitting there talking, with the fight fully over and the worst of the tremor subsiding, leaving only the faintest whispers of vibrations reverberating throughout the city, you start to hear the sounds of clapping. The sound grows and grows as more and more of the patrons and people from the condos across from the tavern start pouring out. You see all of your waitstaff join them. Sky, Kara, Pixel, Declan, and Yosef, Aura, and Javier. You start to see others from the alley making their way towards the commotion after being dragged outside, beckoned by their curiosity of the storm and the tremor. Joining in the crowd is Avi, Imbric, Tally, Zilpip, and even Raishal, who comes slowly wandering over. From around the corner, hiding in the shadows cast by the buildings, you catch a glimpse of Vincent as he tips his hat and then disappears. All of them cheering you on as Kara comes up to you all with a proud look on her face. As I said last time, we don't back down. We don't give up. We are safe thanks to you. Heroes of Waterdeep, but heroes of Trollskull Alley.
Kara then turns to look behind her towards a goofy-looking lizard folk, clapping with a huge smile across his face as he looks at you with the rest of the crowd. She then walks over to him and quite literally pushes him to stand next to you all while he looks confused as to what is happening.
Seisha will take his hand. You're a hero, Salazar. You're an adventurer.
But I didn't go on my mission yet.
But you were with us. You helped us. If it weren't for you, Harold might have died.
Well, he still might die.
No, there he is.
Let's
where
think
is Harold?
positively, guys. He had to go help someone somewhere else.
True.
Uh,
I wish I
Renero-
could have gone.
And Renair speaks up. Yeah, whoever those people were that teleported, Avron and you said, and the Sophias. I'm sure they will take care of him. This isn't the first time he has disappeared. He will come back. He always comes back.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, well, we will get him back. We will use the money my father stole from the city to bring him back.
Thanks, Rainier.
Insight check. Is he implying that he knows something about this?
Say again?
Insight
Money.
check. Is he implying that he knows, perhaps
More than he's
insinuating
let
that
on.
I know we have the stone?
Oh, go ahead and make an insight check.
That's another natural 20, 25.
He's not 100% sure that you have the stone, but he knows since the beginning. He told you about the money that his father took from the citizens and hid away. He knew that you guys were after the stone. But you can't, it's hard to tell if he actually knows you had the stone or not.
Understood.
But he's adamant about using the money.
Let's
Yeah.
Okay.
how
Yeah.
about a round on the house? And I specifically
about
don't look at boss
12?
when I say that.
My mind is elsewhere, so I do not respond to this.
I'll take 12.
Let's head inside. Actually, maybe we should get the guard now.
Oh, I believe they
kinda-
will be here sooner or later.
I think they're coming to us.
Yeah, it's probably true. Yeah. They may be a little occupied with this, though.
What are the guard going to do with a red sky?
What are we going to do with a red sky?
Admire it, obviously. It's beautiful. And a dark to gross, evil, end of the world kind of way.
It beats void sky, right?
Yeah.
You
Yes.
see Zaraj walk over to the building where his arrow is lodged, and he breaks the arrow and then tugs on it as it zips back up to his bow. And then he looks towards Voss, nods, and then he walks into the tavern.
He
I
is so
nod
cool.
back at him. Still kind of standing outside in the area right now.
Seisha's gonna walk over to Voss. You okay?
Fine. Just thinking.
Insight. And I get advantage. Not that it helped me. That's an 11.
I am indeed thinking.
Okay.
I'm not.
I
There's not really any emotional state here or anything like that. He's
Yeah.
just thinking.
I saw you weren't really acting like yourself.
No, I was under possession. So we
That's
share
not-
that in common, I suppose.
Yeah, it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking?
Nothing worth talking about now. Tomorrow, maybe.
All right. Well, come in. We're celebrating. You can have some water.
Sure.
And she'll head in.
I give one last look to where Xanathar was. And then back to Ziraj.
And as you do, I mean, you can see the tunnel that leads down that they came up from is like goes into darkness.
I would actually like to do one thing.
Hmm?
I would like to walk up to where that tunnel was, where his corpse was, and I would like to spit on the ground where it was. And then I will walk inside.
Fair. And as you guys are all making your way inside, you hear the sounds of galloping hooves. As turning down into the alley, you see a carriage. And each of the horses, it's a 4-horse pulled carriage, and each of the horses are heavily armored. The carriage itself is lined with steel and steel plating on the corners and edges, and there is
Covering all of the windows is a small banner, and the banner is a dark gray and a light gray that dissolves in like diamond shapes, with a sword with a gauntlet gripping the middle of the blade.
Like Order of the Gauntlet?
yes.
Like Order of the
Okay.
Gauntlet. That is the symbol of the Order of the Gauntlet.
Yep. And stepping out is a human female in full plate with the bluish, the gray colors of the Order of the Gauntlet, but also with almost like a dark teal blue and gold trim. And as she gets down, she has a spear on her back, and the head of the spear appears to be made of some form of crystal or gem that has a faint glow to it. And as she gets down, you can see a pendant hanging from her neck that is that same gauntlet clutching sword of the Order of the Gauntlet. And her blonde, almost platinum blonde hair kind of blows in the wind as she is eyeing the sky. And you kind of hear her kind of talking the last little bit of, I understand. Yes, we know. They're on the way. And as she makes her way towards you all,
Hi.
Oh, that's Thavra.
Savra?
Yes, he's the one that's going with me on my adventure.
Oh.
yes. And she's like looking at the carnage.
We beat the
Xanathar.
Xanathar.
that one.
She like furrows her brow, and she's just like, and then like sees you all and is like, oh, you have done not only this city but all of Faerun a great justice, if that is the case.
So, like, is the whole group just gonna be like, well, I guess since our boss is dead, we're just gonna disband? Or is it just gonna be a
Probably
new
not.
dude who just is in charge of the group now?
Don't know, but I will let the heads of my order know, and if we can round any of them up, we will. Thank you.
Hi.
Greetings, my name is Savra Bellabronta.
Oh,
And
nice to meet you.
Yes, I'm here for Salazar. We're
going on an adventure.
We
So
are indeed.
excited for you.
V slams a drink back and goes, nice to meet you.
Nods, and you have some form of recognition. The Bellabronta family is another noble family.
And
you most recently met the Bellabronta family when Renair took you on.
right.
Their family raises the Griffins, and so
after she says that, she goes, again?
But you haven't met her. She was not at the residence. She's a lot older, and I mean, in the Order of the Gauntlet, so but she definitely carries the Bellabronta name.
Okay.
But you have that recognition just because y'all, like, she's a little bit older than you, but at the same time, just growing up in nobility, you probably mingled with that family before.
So she says, again, maybe? Have we met before? I can't remember.
She like looks at you, and then Gathala, right?
Yeah. Well, no, not anymore. But I was. That's my dead name. I'm Vedrak now. It's much cooler. It's my grandma's. Yep.
Well, best of luck with that.
Thanks.
Are you ready, Salazar? We should make haste. The poor people of that village are suffering as we speak.
Yes, the lantern place. Wait, so the wrestle lanterns. The wrestle lantern. It's where we're going. They wrestle lanterns to fight shadows. Is that what we're gonna go do? And as they're leaving, they're having this conversation.
Salazar. Seisha's gonna catch up to him, and she pulls a piece of paper out. If you get into trouble, here, send me a message, put my name on it, and it'll find me.
Okay. So I just write the message, I put your name on it, and then it's gonna grow legs and it's gonna walk all the way back to water.
It'll fly. It'll turn into a bird, like a paper bird, and it'll come find me.
Well, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this.
That would be great.
And you kind of see Savra giving Salazar that same look that everybody gives Salazar as she smiles. And as Salazar climbs in, you can see that there are 4 other people in the carriage with him that Salazar starts introducing themselves. And you get the sense that they're all fairly new recruits to the Order of the Gauntlet. And this is all of their first missions as Savra gets in and goes, all right, straighten up. We have a long ride ahead of us. And then
I brought snacks.
and the door closes and the carriage rides off with Salazar heading out on his first mission as an Order of the Gauntlet initiate.
Oh, my heart.
Oh.
So, we killed the Xanathar. Huh.
Yeah.
And 4 of his
What?
heads.
Now.
I
It feels
found
weird.
Ziraj.
Ziraj
Found.
sitting at the bar.
I'll wait until everybody else is done.
What do
Well,
we do
now we go inside and finish our meals and then go to bed.
Oh, my brownie. Seisha will go bopping inside.
Where is Rainier?
He after he watches Salazar leave, he'll come in and he'll actually go to join you.
Okay. Yeah, V says, I mean, she's continuing to drink. And she says to Rainier, everything just feels really weird now. Like, I know I should feel like we accomplished something huge because we did, but I don't know. Going to bed, just every choice I could make right now and what to do just feels like the wrong choice.
That's life. We never know what choices we make are going to affect the world around us. We just have to move forward, taking every step, knowing that the choices that we make, we believe are the right ones.
V like looks at Voss and then like looks back at Rainier and is like, were you ever like a pirate of any kind?
I was not a pirate, but I spent a lot of time on a boat and on a ship.
Is that where you learned how to fight?
It is where yes, I was, before I met up with Vajra and the other Moonstars, I tried to be the best noble I could be for my father, and the more I seemed to realize how much of a little shit he was, I decided that I was going to make my own path, and I left Waterdeep for some time. I sailed the Sea of Stars. I made my way across the oceans of Faerun, and eventually realized that I could do more good here. Rescued Vajra and teamed up with Balloon and the rest of them, and realized that I'm very good at fighting, and I don't like to, but I will do everything I can to protect those I care about. As his eyes meet yours when he says this.
Do you ever would you ever want to leave Waterdeep again?
The right things were there for me to leave. I'm not really, as you've noticed, I'm not really tied down. I have a house that I don't like to live in. I prefer to stay in bars and inns and support the local establishments. So of course I'd be willing to leave again.
Yeah, I did some research on my family recently to try to, see if maybe anyone's still alive out there somewhere. And it's kind of turning into being, I won't know until I go find out myself. I want to bring it up to the group. And of course, after all of this nonsense is over with, which it feels like it's going on forever. But I feel like Seisha and Venli would totally be down to leave Waterdeep, because Seisha's whole purpose is to like see the world, I guess. And Venli doesn't seem to care too much personally about Waterdeep. But I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like it would take a lot more convincing for Voss and Harold. I don't even know if Voss would want to go.
Well, talk to them and see. And no matter what, whenever you finish your what tasks you have in the city, I think it'd be good for you to leave and try to find where you come from. And I think that sounds great. And I promise you, if I am able to, I will be right beside you. I would like to experience that with you.
She doesn't know what to say, so she kisses him.
And he...
I heard that, Katie.
I thought it was muted.
He will return the kiss, and as he pulls away, he kind of just grabs your hand and orders a drink, and just kind of enjoys this moment. You kind of, even your passive insight gets the sense that he has not felt this comfortable and open with someone in a very long time.
V then adds, I'm really jealous your group got such a cool name, Moonstars. I've been trying to come up with like a way to like the name BFG. And when
maybe figure out a way to use the acronym, but make it mean something other than the
Best Friends
yes.
Guild.
That.
Well, I actually have been making like a list in my head because when we were back at the fighting pit ring place, I was thinking about it and I was like, I guess it could mean whatever I want it to mean. And I, decided that maybe each one of us is a BFG in a different way. And so I decided that I'm beautiful, friendly Goliath. And then, of course, we have ballsy, funny guy and beaming, faithful, gentle lady. And then the bewitching, favorable gal. And then, of course, bloody, fortuitous grouch.
Ooh, that's pretty good. I was gonna say, but first gold.
But first gold. That's better.
But
That's so much better than mine.
That's
No.
good. And just so you know, the Moonstars, I didn't come up with it. It was actually a name of one of Kelvin Orison's, the Blackstaff from a few years ago. That it was his organization that he had, and we kind of took it and remade it into something a little bit more.
You know where the name came from? You guys just like the sky, or nighttime's cooler than daytime? I don't know.
I believe it came from Selune and the Moonstar Sisters. But that's a guess. I'm not really sure. It's just a shot in the dark. But anyways, we should, let's to the future. And he'll hold up a glass.
And she cheers to him, to the future.
And as you drink, we're going to move over to Voss, who walks up to Zaraj.
I sit down across from him.
You can't sit if he's at the bar. You can't sit across because
okay. I sit next to him then.
Yep.
Fairly close. First thing I say is, thank you for your assistance. If there is any bounty to be, I acknowledge his grunt. If there's any bounty to be had from this, understand that you are entitled to a piece of it.
And he nods.
We need to set up a meeting with the whole family. News of this will spread fast. A power vacuum will form. We need to be ready to take advantage of this. Do you understand?
He looks at you like dead in the eye, and you can see through your passive. He understands. But he kind of looks off for a second. You get the feeling that gathering the entire family so quickly may be difficult. He understands the urgency. You pick up that. And so
Just dabble then. We need to act now. This could actually end very badly for us in this city if we don't start making moves. Power vacuums don't last long, and there's only one group that's readily available to absorb the organization. Xanathar's and Tarm kept themselves in a sort of balance. With Xanathar dead, Manchun will step in.
And he picks up his flagon, and you can see the condensation ring as he drags a finger through it and creates a serpent. And he pulls out a dagger and stabs it into the table.
I agree. I've seen him attack from afar often.
Yes.
Has Devil ever said... he's also a spellcaster. Has Devil ever said what his position is exactly?
He has not. I
then very quietly say, "You're very strange strange ranged attacker.
And he looks at you,
What?
and then he looks over at Seisha.
I see.
And then he pulls out or exposes a symbol that is an arrow.
Do I recognize it?
You can make a religion check.
I will. See how well this goes. That is a third natural 20, courtesy of D&D Beyond. That is all I have rolled thus far.
Are you using
Digital
the mythic
dice.
Yeah, you're using
Virtual
the
dice,
mythic dice.
baby.
Look at how good they are.
I'm using the digital dice.
No.
The digital dice.
No, I'm
Virtual
saying,
dice.
are you using the mythic dice?
Yes.
Yes, look at
Yes,
how
the
good they
mythic-
are. That's why you
How
want these things.
Good are the mythic.
And they're
Buy
super
it.
hot.
Throughout your travels, there are very few gods that you paid attention to, but there was one that kind of caught your attention. You probably met someone of this order. And what this symbol is, although very plain and easy to disguise as in just any type of trinket, is the elven god of hunting, archery, and survival in the wild and harsh places. The elven god teaches his followers the arts of hunting, including archery and moving unseen and hiding in wild places.
Solinar, known as the Great Archer, always kept his word and so did not offer it lightly. He often came across as grim due to the complexities of his duty-making compromises between those who wanted to exploit nature's gifts and those who wished to preserve nature in an unaltered state.
And you can, with your natural 20, you can easily pick up that although he is not elven, he holds very true to these beliefs, as he is obviously a hunter, he is obviously an archer, and he obviously keeps his words very seldom. And when he speaks with truth, and he speaks with upholding his word.
Interesting. The next time, let me ask you this. Did Elvandria come to you to be trained? Or did Davil ask you to do it? And then I put a coin on the table, gold, and I just point to it and I say, Davil, and then I point to the empty bar, or no, knowing that he does not now speak.
And he takes 2 fingers and puts it on both.
Really?
But you notice that the coin touched first.
I see. I would like to, I don't want to intrude. The next time you train her, I'd like to see. I rarely see her out of sight of interactions with me. She's intriguing.
And
Would you mind?
he nods, and he looks to you, and then he looks to Pixel and Daclin. Specifically, you pick up that he is looking at their kindredness in being brother and sister. And you get the feeling that he sees her as a little sister.
Yeah, I get it. In any case, thank you for today. I will need to speak with him soon. And if you see Lavandria, send her my way. I have a small task for her.
He nods. Finishes his drink.
Not back. Yeah. I slide another 2 gold, which I'll mark off,
Okay.
towards Leaf and say, whatever he wants on the house.
And then he'll
And then I will.
look at you and smile with a tusk tooth kind of peeking out from his half grin as he then picks up the menu and starts looking it over and slides the tankard back towards Leaf as it is being refilled.
Okay. I will go upstairs then and go to sleep. I assume it's night, right?
It is nearing the end of day. It was hard to tell because the sky is just blood red. It's almost as if night and day have no purpose anymore.
He's got keen mind, though.
Yep.
So
It
what
is.
time is it?
It should be sunset.
Okay.
So nearing the very end of the day, it's about 9:15, 9:20. For you, it's 9:20.
I'll go ahead and plan out the rest of my day and just plan to get up early.
Okay.
I don't know if there's anything else.
I'm just watching Dustin's face.
All right, I'm working on. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We're gonna.
Oh, okay. Is everybody going upstairs?
I would actually like to go see the guard if they haven't shown up yet.
Okay. You walk outside, and it's been about 10, 15 minutes now, and you see your neighbors gathered around telling the story of what happened with a couple of guards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I will approach. Hi.
Hello?
Hi. We got attacked.
We heard. We know the entire account, of course, and
Okay.
that is, of course, if it is truthful.
Yeah, I don't know that any of these good people would lie. Our neighbors are good people.
And you know what? Honestly, as he looks across at the other soldiers, I wouldn't care if they were lying. What you killed? Fuck them.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just going to let you know that we're probably going to be staying in for the night. So if there's any questions or anything, we'll be around, probably.
A lot of trouble seems to follow you.
Yeah, it
But
does.
you seem to be doing a lot of good. So we're going to let this one slide.
Thank you. Thanks.
We're going to have more trouble getting the... he looks down at the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that repaired. Yeah. So we're going straight to the guilds now with a message.
Okay. Who is there somebody who takes care of, and she just kind of points at the rubble of the Xanathar.
I'm sure the magists will want that.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks.
Yeah, and one of them is like, I'm gonna go inform the guilds, start getting this fixed, and let the Order of Magus know. And he runs off.
Okay. She will thank them and turn around and head upstairs.
Vinley, she doesn't do much. She just sits back down at her quippers and eats while everyone else is doing this stuff. But
Kipper. I'm sorry, it's Kipper.
It's Quipper. So she'll actually wave over Declan to come sit with her. And slide the plate over to him and say, "Why don't you try one?"
And he'll come up. You've noticed that like his shyness is still there, but he's opened up a little bit, especially now that he's been able to do prestidigitation and other little bits of minor illusion. His natural minor illusion of being a gnome coming through. But he comes over and he'll sit down and he'll try it.
And she will just finish having dinner with Declan. And then she'll say, All right. Good night. Maybe sometime we can take another class at the tower.
I'd like that.
Well, anytime you want to do it, just ask me and I'll make room in my day for you.
I really wanna be able to shoot fire from my hands. That would be really cool.
Well, do you want to see something? Come here.
Oh.
And she will stand up and walk. Where's the safest place to do this?
The cellar.
So
Probably-
as you walk in, or as you begin to walk towards the cellar, there is a crackle in the air as the entire tavern begins to grow dark. And then like a spark coming from the middle, you begin to see a swirl and over and over and over again. And as this portal opens, tumbling out onto the ground, end over end. Go ahead and describe what they see.
Oh no.
Harold is drenched head to toe in viscera. He is covered in blood of 3 different colors, green, red, and purple, that is so thick on his body that prestidigitation isn't enough to clean him. He has bones also stuck to him. There's a spine rolled over his shoulder. And you notice as he stands, he kicks a hand out from a baby giant's arm that is now his leg. He kicks a hand that hand is holding out. And he wipes the blood away from his face, which has less than the rest of him because he clearly was wearing the mask. And he looks at everybody and he's like, "Can I get a towel?"
Without missing a beat, there is like chalk that is smashed against the blackboard, and you see it turn into dust as your face is then covered in a dirty, bar-drenched towel.
"Oh, thanks, Leaf." And I'm going to...
As he pick it, like you see the arm you threw with your foot arm is like dangling, and he moves the hand in a way to like flick you off. Like, what are you doing throwing arms in this tavern?
He looks around, I didn't know where I was. Oh, and I'm gonna go and I'm walk over, and with my baby arm leg, I'm going to snatch the arm away and hobble my way back out the door. I'm going upstairs. And I shut the door behind me.
And you see like Renair is just like,
That was Harold, right?
I'm just kind of holding Declan's hand.
His
and Declan's like,
foot hand?
that you're holding Declan's hand, and Declan's like, is that what you wanted to show me?
And then Voss, you were a little distracted by this, but as you look down, you feel a little tug as Pixel has her hand in your pocket and is also looking with an extreme like concern towards Harold.
Wait, is Voss not upstairs?
It's kind of we were waiting.
This is
Okay.
as everyone is starting to head off.
Just so
Okay, so
everybody
I was
at home
downstairs to see
is
that.
You're on
clear. His right leg is a baby giant's arm that has clearly been grafted to his leg.
So a giant baby arm?
No, like a baby giant.
Yeah, like a
Like a
giant.
The arm
giant.
of a
Like
baby giant.
it's an enormous
Yes.
baby arm
Right.
because it's from a giant.
So
Yes.
I
and it's his
look
leg.
at that and look at her and just say, just take it. It's a freebie today.
She kind of like takes it and like looks like a little bit concerned about Harold, or as the door's closed, and like looks at it and just kind of feels like, hey, all right, I guess it's a win, you know.
I give her
So
a
she
pat
just
on the
quietly
head.
follows Harold.
Yeah, so you're coming back from talking to the
Wait, so-
guards, as Harold's leaving, and you just quietly fall as you see him just hobbling with his.
And you hear this like as he's drenched, and it's just like pouring off of him as he's walking out. And who is it that I see?
You see Seisha.
I wave with my leg and keep walking.
Oh, you're gonna no, you're gonna need to explain. And she scuttles behind him.
I'm assuming everybody follows upstairs.
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
that wasn't what I was going to show you, but I can't top that. Go back to your sister.
So V like has this moment of like catatonic, and then she's like, wait, and then she starts running up the stairs. Harold!
I'm gonna
Renair's like, I gotta see this.
Once everybody's upstairs.
Harold is clearly significantly slower. He's also holding what looks to be a cane that is all purple. It is made of a dark purple like metal with light purple musical notes riding up the side. If you can read music, you would notice it's the same tune from the pants on either side, whether you zipped it up or down.
I don't think anybody can read.
Okay.
It's not actually a language, but
No.
I like.
Are you
Harold!
proficient in any instrument?
Anybody that's proficient in any instrument can read it.
Yeah.
I
Nope.
am.
Cook utensils and potter's tools.
Yep.
Why do I have? Oh yeah, because I spent time with them. Yeah.
What can I do?
And
I
take it and I set it aside, and I'll get with the DMs on what it is. And
I know. I'll add it, and you can refresh.
What did Avrin do to you?
Your leg, your arm leg, the leg arm, the head. Why?
that's a great question.
What happened to the original one? That one was fine.
I was like tortured a really long time.
What?
Like
Oh,
Harold. Say she's gonna run over and start trying to sponge him off.
hey,
You're mute, honey.
it is work.
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah.
so much, and he's
Are
just
you
like
hurt?
I got like tortured a lot.
Are you hurt?
is that vomit? Is that blood? Like, why is it green? Like, what is that?
I think this was like a dragonborn, and I think that was like there was a lot of people. We were in a bar, and then I drew from this deck of cards because somebody told me I wouldn't, and I looked at it, and suddenly I was with the thing that's in the red part of the sky.
What
Did
is
y'all
it?
take care of that?
We don't even know what it
No,
is.
We don't know what it
The
is.
sky's just red.
All
Then
we
he
did-
points at the window, and
just killed
the sky is
Xanathar.
still red.
Oh yeah, we killed the Xanathar.
I know.
Yeah, you were there for that, and
I
that's
killed
pretty
him.
much all that's happened.
Oh yeah, Harold killed the Xanathar.
Yeah, I mean, with you
I think
guys,
we all killed the
we all
Xanathar.
killed the Xanathar.
Well, I slept. I feel
No,
well rested.
You held his thugs off so that some of us could get to it to attack. So you helped kill him too.
Not the issue, Harold.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I landed the last shot, but it's okay.
Can we fix this? V turns to Venley and is like, "Can we with the magic? Can we fix this?"
And as you're pointing outside the window, looking up at the red sky that is still torrent with lightning and everything, Harold, however long you have been gone, it has only been a few minutes for everyone else. Voss, you know it has been about 18 minutes since Harold's disappearance. But you watch as the storm begins to dissipate from the sky, with the faint hues of lingering red fading into nothing more than a sunset.
Harold, you did it.
No, I wouldn't. No. No. I mean, I hit it. I did something to it briefly. It is like the same way that you felt when you were with the eye. It's whatever those things are. It's like that. Only it's way more talkative. And I called it Calamari Kevin because it wouldn't give me a name, which I felt was a logical jest. It made my leg come alive and detach itself from me. And then it impaled me, and I woke up in a lab looking like this,
The leg
because-
impaled you?
No, not
No,
my
the
leg.
thing.
The
The
thing.
thing?
The thing is just endless tentacles.
Ew.
They're all red though. They're not like the eyes. It's way more overt, and it talks, and it. Anyway, when it got a hold of my soul, because I drew a card from a deck, I just died, and it caught wherever my soul went, and awful things kept happening.
Can I roll Arcana to know what he drew that card from?
Sure.
Dirty 20.
10.
Vinley, he drew some card. You have no idea. Maybe he literally.
You probably hand drew it.
That's exactly, yeah. Seisha, you know, you've heard whispers and mainly just stories. No one, never heard of like true tales. It's
Right.
always in lore and myths and legends and stories that you've read of
Yeah.
a deck called the Deck of Many Things. And
It is a deck that is known to alter reality itself.
Harold,
Yeah.
did they name the deck? Was it called a Deck of Many Things?
I mean, there were many things in it, because it was a deck.
You are a lucky son of a bitch.
No, I don't think I'd classify what happened to me as lucky.
Harold, from the stories I've read, the fact you're here, you're lucky.
Whatever happened in that other world, it's hazy to me. I just remember that it was very bad, and it kept happening, and I ate myself.
Oh, Harold.
It's inconceivable. The things that happened were beyond reality. I was turned into blood tears, and it hurt. Like it's just, oh man.
Seisha kneels in front of him and just kind of looks up at him while he's got his face in his hands. It's okay. You're home now.
That's the only thing that kept me going, was I knew I had to get back.
You're home. You're with us. V and Rainier kissed.
Oh shit, and I missed it.
It was adorable.
Not now.
Renair's there.
Yeah, Rainier and V are sitting right there. Really?
Make him happy.
No, he wasn't even there.
I know,
It's okay.
but knowing that it
He
happened.
gives you both thumbs up. Congrats.
Thanks, I think.
No, genuinely.
Are you all right, my friend?
Yeah, I met lots of really cool people. Like all the people I told you the stories about, like, you know, Freely and like Alindra and all
And
of
you
them.
remember it this time.
Yeah, I remember all of it. But it seems like it's barely been gone here. I was there for like hours, and
You were gone for like 20 minutes.
yeah, no, I was probably gone for a couple of days. I think I don't know how long I was out on that table.
Time pass is really weird in that other place.
I was way more powerful. Let me just go ahead and get that out of the way. Out of all this, you know, all the horror and the existential awfulness that I'm gonna have to deal with the rest of my life, I could shoot fireballs. I could like teleport. I was like really feeling it. Avram was like pumping me up, I think, and we rolled into this place where like there were a whole bunch of people that were worshiping the red sky, and there were like, I don't want to like say that I helped kill hundreds of people. But they're not going to be a problem to the universe anymore, so that's a thing.
Yay.
Hey.
Can we talk
Was
about?
this? Go ahead.
Sorry. No, you go ahead.
So did you win, or whatever that could be classified as?
Well, they didn't make it. You see, what happened was while I was being tortured or whatever, it turns out that a buddy of mine named Shaka, he pulled a card, and when he pulled it, he altered reality to make us not suffer any consequences for anything that happened there. And it sucked me back into my body. And then we they started, and like we were in this tavern, right? And when he did that, the only way for there to be no consequences would have been for their major tower that like dominated an enormous portion of the land. It exploded, and it consumed all the dragons and undead and all that were surrounding it. And then that washes over everything, right? And so they're all just toasted, and they're like shouting, like it blows the tavern off the wall, and we're all heading towards the ocean. And I'm thinking, oh, this is fucking it. And because at this point my soul's back, and we look down and they start declaring that they're going to kill us, and all their heads start exploding because there would be consequences if they were going to be coming after us. And so in that moment, I just grabbed Penelope, who really is a delight. I just cannot tell you. She's like the sweetest. And I grab her and we teleported up. And next thing you know, we're all hanging out, and like there was like a penguin. It was great. What? Honestly, I think we did a lot of good. It was just super violent, like obscene. And I was playing piano, apparently. I don't remember that, but apparently I was like kicking ass on the piano, which, you know, hey, go me.
Is it over?
I would say this is like step one.
Oh. So, okay, two things.
Yeah.
One, we'll come back to the arm leg, and you watch as Rainier points.
And through all of this commotion, your passives have not picked up on it. You've been so focused on Harold and the chaos that has ensued. As he points down, and you see a letter comprised of only a few words, and on top of it is a single rose.
Harold looks down. Oh man, I'm just raking them in today, I'll tell you. Well, I mean, it can't be worse than being eaten by an image of myself. And
how did that happen?
I'm gonna grab a towel and wipe my hands off so I don't get gunk. And once we got the vast majority of it off, I'll press to digitize the rest of it off of me. Well, I don't have that anymore. I tried to.
I was about to say.
And I was like, I'm so. Let me go back to my other sheet.
Yeah.
Harold's now our Deus Ex Machina.
And the item is there. If you don't see it, just refresh. But
okay, yeah, I see it. Thank you so much. Harold literally tries to. Oh right, yeah, no, Averin. Vinley, do you mind helping with the last of the?
And with your snap, everything it literally evaporates off of him.
All right.
And Seisha hugs him now that he's clean.
I hug her. I'm like,
glad you're okay.
You like hugs, and then around your legs you feel another arm.
Sorry, I'm really getting used to this. It kind of does its own thing sometimes.
So no consequences, but.
Well, this wasn't from that. This was from calling the red thing in the sky the entire universe of tentacles Calamari Kevin, and then shooting a fireball into it.
Calamari Kevin.
It wouldn't tell me a name. I was trying to goad it into doing something, and then it made my leg.
Well, it did something.
Yeah, it definitely responded.
Well, now we know his name's Calamari Kevin.
Or I think we should avoid that in the future. I assure you, you don't want the consequences. But that much having been said, I do it all again. It was worth it. It was worth it. And what a hell of a story that's going to be.
I'm proud of you, Harold.
Proud of me too. All right, so let's open this baby up. And I'm going to take my foot and hand myself the...
Hold up. Before you hand foot your letter forward, I would like to train in alchemy now. Detect the outside or anything for poisons.
Make an investigation.
Seems to be his MO.
Mm-hmm.
How did that get there when we were right here?
Y'all have been gone from
16.
this place. Don't forget.
Oh,
16.
I thought you said it was on his foot.
No. It's on the table.
Yeah.
In the common room of You're upstairs.
For some reason, I heard it was on his foot. That's why I was really
I
confused.
said you were focused on Harold and his foot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what
I
distracted
was like, that's a really skilled rogue.
16.
16.
You do not know exactly what it is, but there seems to be a faint residue on it.
We need to take this next door. There's something on this.
I can clean it.
Yeah,
You just remove it.
yeah. The
I mean, I
precipitation
can try.
would take it off.
There's
Do
a
so then, please.
yeah. She'll snap her finger.
You watch the powdery residue that was coating the letter dissipate.
If that's all I sense with it, I will hand it to Harold.
I will carefully open it.
As you open it, it only has a few words formed in the phrase of a sinister inquisition.
It says, "How's business? Remember what you promised, Oscar, and remember that what I can do. Regards, the Rose."
What does it say?
I hand it out so everybody can read it.
What can he do?
What? Yeah.
He'll go after all of you. He'll go after everyone we know. He will look for any weakness he finds in us and exploit it if we don't give him the stone.
Interesting. Correct me if my memory is wrong, but didn't he work with the Xanathar, or did he work with Manchun?
He worked with Xanathar.
Interesting. So we just killed his boss, and he sends us a death threat.
He did work with Xanathar. He no longer does. I believe. Correct, Harold?
That's right.
There's
I don't think he needs Xanathar anymore.
There's one other way.
Maybe
We
he
find
sent this
him and
because
we-
he's scared.
We take care of him first.
I'm not against that idea.
I mean, we got one criminal boss. Let's go
Just
for
round up the others.
the triple. Let's make it a double right now. But
Something else we got to think about is,
how to get your foot gone or back?
yeah, I don't think this is gonna stick around. I'm sure Avron's chuckling to himself somewhere, drinking his coffee, and the guy fucking hilarious actually. But the fact of the matter is, I need to get a leg that lets me move at full speed because I am really slow.
We could go to the House of Wonders.
Yeah, I think mechanical's probably good.
Or maybe it
House
could
of
be
Inspired
restored by
Hands.
House of Inspired Hands. Or maybe a strong cleric could restore it.
That
Maybe
seems like
Vajra
that'd be
could.
really expensive.
You did just kill the Xanathar. Perhaps Vajra would fix your leg for
Yeah.
you.
As
I'm open
exchange.
to ideas.
Hey, Harold,
Yeah,
your leg's a giant baby arm.
I know, dude. What am I supposed to do with this? Look at this. It's ridiculous. I can high five myself. It's bizarre.
High five. Like, let's can we?
Ew.
Do the
It's
fist
bump.
bump.
Oh, let's do it. And he lifts the foot and
Oh, that was so uncomfortable
This is
and cool,
weird.
weird and
I don't-
funny.
I don't
And
like
with
it.
that, I'm going to bed. Good night.
That's hysterical.
That is bizarre. Why? Why? I know why. It's Avron.
It's funny.
It's
It
such an
was
Avron
really
thing to
funny.
do. Ah. I knew something was up.
I'm glad you're okay.
Me
I'm
too.
glad you came home.
There was no way I was sticking around there. I just was I
Did you
just
get to
don't
see
know.
Orkira?
I did. She's doing great. Things were really good right up until we all were fighting Calamari Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, then things were not so great, but they're actually probably in Waterdeep right now. I don't know if it's the same water deep. I don't know. There's actually a lot of like shakas from Waterdeep. So like everybody I was meeting was like, we were all talking about Waterdeep. So that was pretty cool. So they might all be around. I don't know. But the fact of the matter was we were up in, I think Luskin. And then,
We passed by Luskin on the way here.
Oh, and then I got impaled and that pulled me back through the portal and I was definitely not in Luskin anymore.
I'm so sorry.
If we got you a mechanical leg, do you think we could put like wheels on it and stuff?
No,
and
we could get
be,
one
like,
of the stilt
super
ones.
Fast.
We could get a stilt leg.
Why would I want a stilt
Why
leg?
would you want a stilt leg?
Because if you fell in a pit, then you could stilt up. I'm talking about, remember
You'd be slower with
the
the
ones
stilt.
that sit level and then you click the heel and it went up really tall?
Yeah?
No,
We could
wheels are
get one
cooler.
of those.
Wheels are cooler. No, rockets.
I think maybe I just would like to maybe it like what time is it?
It's
Rocket
starting to
time.
be at nightfall. It's past dusk at this point.
Yeah. Okay, so it's late.
Can you do a never mind. I'm done.
Definitely get that taken care of. I don't know. I mean, you do you, but I personally would not want to. What happens if that arm doesn't stop growing?
No, I 100% am getting this replaced. I
didn't think about the fact that it's a baby
I
arm.
want
So
to-
it will one day be adult arm.
We don't know that, and I don't want to know that. I just want to get rid of it so I can get a mechanical leg, or
Right.
or a replacement leg. Just something. I would like something.
I believe mechanical leg for the House of Inspired Hands could easily be plausible for a prosthetic, but also if you want to pay for a regeneration, you can, but it is not going to be cheap.
How much?
Hold on.
It is a very powerful magic.
I mean,
Well,
I've got a lot of gold right now.
I'm not especially worried about whether I have my original leg. This is the business. If I'm going to be an adventurer, well, that's just that's part of the cost of business.
Fair enough, but let's see how much this is first.
You know what? It might cost us an arm and a leg.
Oh, V.
You just see Harold and just.
Oh my god! Renair definitely laughs. Oh, on that note, I think I'm gonna retire for the evening. You're probably, just so you know.
Hold on.
Harold, are you hurt?
I'm working out the formula in my mind right now with my other side of my brain.
I don't think I don't know if my health. I'll bring my health down to where it was from before.
Okay.
So it'll be there.
Well,
so Harold's like, yeah, I'm not feeling great.
Seisha will lay her hands.
You can see he's singed like all across his body as if he's been struck by lightning.
Actually, Seisha puts her hands on both of his cheeks and kisses his forehead and casts lay on hands.
Oh. How much will that heal for?
How much do you need?
Well, I'm at 22 out of 44.
Okay, then take 22.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you. I was like, oh, that's so much better. He smiles to her softly and then kind of, well, if everybody's going to bed sounds good.
Sorry, you're probably looking at about 750 to 1,000 gold to regenerate your leg. I don't know how much. I would imagine the mechanical.
Cheaper to bring someone back to life?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a complicated process.
Fully regrow a limb that has been severed is not an easy process.
Especially without the original limb.
And if you're looking to bring someone back who has lost a limb and want that regrown, it's even more expensive. Wow. So anyways, I'm going to retire for the night. Good job today.
You
Hey.
you all did good, and good luck tomorrow, Harold. And he'll walk over to V, and he'll pull her down because he's short into a kiss, and we'll say, "I'll see you later."
Later.
And he'll leave.
So 12 babies.
No.
Harold like looks over at Seisha and then looks at V, and he's like, "I'm proud of
12
you."
babies.
No.
You're going to have your own little warrior band. Oh, it's going to be amazing.
I think going to bed would be great. It seems like we're all real tired. Just a question: what are our plans for tomorrow?
I have no idea. I at some point I need to go see my mentor.
Well, why don't we plan in the morning? We'll all get up for breakfast. We'll hang out and we'll figure out what we're doing.
Okay.
I'm so glad to be home.
I'm so glad you're home.
I missed all of you so much.
Yeah.
And he's going to hug everybody, and he'll save Voss for last, and then he'll be like,
Hug him with the baby arm.
he is going to hug him. He's not going to hug him with a baby arm. Oh, you're muted.
Yep. As you come in close, I will whisper very slowly into your ear, "We need to talk tonight. It concerns the rose."
He pats you twice in the back, and then
Okay.
leans back up.
Oh wait. As he's leaving. Oh. Harold Hoppington.
Get out.
And he's gonna hop on the one baby giant foot, and you see it's got some strength. Because I think the only benefit of having it is that I get a third attack with it.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's not bad.
I mean, it's 1 damage, but hey, I get a swing.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you Eldritch Blast out of the baby hand.
Yeah. You guys.
Todd! Amazing.
Oh, can't wait for that fan art.
Just like nobody say anything. Just frustrated marching out of the tavern.
Not one word.
Does everyone retire for now to their respective rooms to go to?
Yeah.
Yeah, Seisha's gonna stay up writing stuff.
Yep, I'll go up to my room to check on old Earl.
He's stuff knocked over as normal, but he's there, and
it does look like he's been tended to, as Renair said he would.
Yep.
Awesome. Sweet. I will. I probably don't have any peanuts on me currently, so I will just hang out in the room.
Okay. And at some point in the night, Voss is gonna walk up and knock on your door.
Yep.
I'll let him in. I'm like hobbling weird. You can hear me. Like, yeah, go on in. And I'll hobble away and let him shut the door.
Maybe keep walking to a minimum until we figure out exactly. Avery did this to you, correct?
It did budget cuts apparently, and yeah.
You should consider perhaps perusing another patron. Just
it's a little
something to think about.
I mean, we've got a good team going. Honestly, he's okay. He's just kind of an ass, but he's on the level, genuinely. And the other warlocks that I worked with, 100% on the level.
Well, to bring it back to home, I have no idea how to fight this war that's apparently going on Avern's side. But this concerns the war we're fighting here. I found my rounds with Mert to be very enlightening, because I found that there was a masked lord interfering with our business.
Great.
You know what this means, then?
Could mean a few things. Could be
It means the rose is affecting our business.
maybe. Could be Gathala too.
Why do you think he sent us that letter?
That's a good.
How's business? I didn't want to reveal it to the group because that would reveal that the Rose is a masked lord. The fewer people who know that,
That's for
better.
sure. So now what? We got to deal with them.
Now, it's not just them we have to deal with. We're in the middle of a gang war, Harold. Like it or not. That's what we need to be dealing with. Xanathar's death won't change much, except it'll give the Zentarum a new leg and a new army with which to absorb.
I caught that. Don't think I didn't catch that. New leg? We really? He points down to his new leg. Really? New leg? That's what we're going with? We're going to do that?
I'm sorry.
I'm fucking with you, man. I'm fucking with you. It's fine.
Oh. I don't
I'm
do
seriously.
things like that. You
I
know.
doesn't bother me. I thought you were just messing around.
No,
Right.
I'm not. I would like this group to refrain from making too many puns in the future, but I can see that that's not going to be something realistic in any case.
Oh, are you saying something about me not doing puns? Because I'm over here flexing my leg. I wasn't paying attention to that part. Oh, look at that. The inn is that way. The creepy guy's right here. Sorry. That's yeah, anyway. You're right.
I'm sure everyone else would find this very amusing.
Yeah. This is true. I bet V'd be losing her shit. But but you're right. We have to focus on the things here. You're saying, who do you want to focus on first?
It's not a matter of who we can focus on first. There's something we can do that potentially, aside from completing the stone, which is the biggest blow we can give to these gangs, there's something else we can do that may slip beneath their notice. I'm going to bring this up to the group tomorrow concerning our missions in the field ward. I'm bringing it to you first because I want to get your opinion on it.
Absolutely.
We're not bar owners, Harold, not really. We're not innkeepers. We're not tavern smiths or whatever the myriad of guilds are needed to run an establishment like this. We're mercenaries. It's what we are. That's why Floon hired us. That's why Renair hired us. At the end of the day, we're mercenaries. That is what we need to bring to the field ward. Field ward already has several inns, taverns, but no one operates a mercenary group there. One that can operate solely within the range of the field ward. If we're going to be in this gang war, we're not going to be able to do it just on our own anymore. I have the Doom Raiders, but even though you and V are in the Harpers, I ask what you're really drawing from that group. The information, the tactics, everything. We're not going to win this gang war unless we use every resource we have available to us. And we're certainly not going to help the field ward unless we can get it to protect itself. We can train them to fight. And as things become more safe, the things that everyone else may come there on their own. But that needs to be our territory now. Manchun, I very much doubt, will care what happens to the poorest district of this town. As much as everyone may want to rush to face him, Manchun will not be as easy to defeat as Xanathar, who came to the surface with no reinforcements, mad with grief. Manchun will not make the same mistake. As he grows his forces, he becomes all the more dangerous because of it. I know not everyone is comfortable with this, but we need to accept the fact that we are in the middle of a gang war, and what we do best is fighting.
I'm not going to put people in the field board in front of us
Harold,
to fight these people.
Harold, we're already putting the people around us in front of us. Xanathar came here. I told everyone this place would become a target, and it did. No matter where we go, we're putting people in danger. The difference is, we can train those people. We can direct those people. But Xantarim have already wrapped their tentacles around every aspect of the guards in this city. When the time comes, and with you knowing who the masked lords are, who do you think will be protected? We don't do this, no one will help them, and no one will protect them.
I think we should
can't
totally
save
train
all the
them.
city.
I think we should train them to defend themselves, but I don't think we should utilize them like soldiers.
Why?
Because we can handle it.
No, we can't.
Oh, we can. I promise you, if you give me a little time, I can show you that all it takes is us. I've been working on the side too. You think I just sit around all night playing accordion? I have been doing my own work.
Yes. You
Well-
give me little else. Are you being serious in this?
Yeah. I'm telling you, give me some time and I will show you results. But we can't push those people in front of us and tell them to fight a war until they're able to defend themselves, which should be the priority. I agree. The field board, I think everybody's focus now is there. Everybody wants to see them prosper. And I 100% think if you and V were teaching them how to fight, they'd be able to defend themselves in no time. And if they get to that point and Manshun wants to push or the Rose wants to push into there, then we don't have to send them to fight because they'll already be ready to fight for themselves. We're getting there. And that is plenty. The rest of it, look what we did to Xanathar with just us and a few guys from a couple of our organizations. We did it all through your network of knowing people and through all of our networks and all of us working together. We came out and we forced him out of hiding and we killed somebody who up until now the city thought was invincible. We can do it. That's my feelings on it. I think if we push the field board in front of us, we're going to be seeing a lot of people that are dead when we could have been like a scalpel instead of like a butcher knife. All it takes is small cuts here and there, pushing the pieces into the right place, and you can get a checkmate with almost every piece still on the board. It just takes more time and patience. If you trust me and you give me a little time, I will show everybody what I've been doing.
When I told everyone we were living with a knife against our throat, I was right. When I said this place would become a target for attack, I was right. And when I say that this group, this 5, will not be enough, keep in mind, we just didn't defeat Xanathar. One of my members of the Doom, not my members, but one of the Doom Raiders was on the side assisting. Renair was here. Xanathar came anywhere else, we would not have been able to kill him.
I don't think that's true.
Would you rather fought him in his lair?
No, but we pushed him out. We made the right moves, and he got checkmated in the streets instead of the place he would want to fight. We can do the exact same thing with Manshun. They're all, at the end of the day, they all still have feelings. Even if they want to pretend they don't, they still do. Everybody has that insecurity. And when it's bad people like that, they hide it behind the gristle, they hide it behind the murder, they hide it behind it all, but they all have a weakness. Everybody. And Manchun's got him just like Xanathar did. You found his. That stupid fish. I know he has the fish. Do I know he has the fish or no?
You do not.
Oh, then I never mind. He does not say that.
Okay.
He's like somehow that fish was his weakness, and somehow he got the idea that the fish was among us. That's it. Pushed him out. That fish is probably buried under the earth right now. But he was convinced, and that pushed him out. He's gone. Now that we know we can do it.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That was a weird noise. You don't make that noise unless you think you did something very, very bad.
I don't think I did anything bad, but if I hadn't done it,
oh
that
no,
wouldn't have come to the surface.
I sniff the air. Do I smell fish?
Nowhere near you.
It's not here. I don't have it on me.
You stole the fish. Oh,
Wouldn't his
yes,
coat
I
smell
stole
like
fish.
fish, though?
you are
You got prestidigitated.
you sneaky. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, I would have been so pissed at the time, but now I think you're a genius.
Yeah.
Oh no,
It was needed. It was.
It
needed
totally
for me.
worked. It totally worked.
Yes.
Fucking well done.
The fish is in storage at the moment.
Oh my god!
well,
How did you smuggle a live fish all the way out there?
live fish is the word that we can't use. I smuggled a dead fish that I will spend 600 gold to resurrect.
You are going to resurrect a fucking trout?
Apparently, it's possible, so I have been told.
You're gonna spend 600 gold on a big mouth bass. You're gonna drop nearly 1,000. You're gonna drop $1,000 on a brim.
I know how much 600 gold is, Harold.
And you hear-
I know
you
how
hear-
much 600 gold is, okay?
You hear behind you, take me to the water, drop me in the otter.
I look
pick up something and I throw it at it. I throw it at the otter.
It's like a pillow, just knocks the otter up.
And then you hear, you may not want to
Yeah.
hear. You may not want to hear an otter pun, but I think you have me confused with someone who builds a dam.
he waves it off and he's like, you have to ignore it. It's just at the worst possible times. Okay, all right. So when you gotta let everybody know you took the fish. Didn't you say that
Why?
you saw the visions of the fish?
I did see the visions of the fish. I'm not going to bring this up until we have the stone done. That's just it. That needs to be our priority.
I'd be proud of myself if I snuck the fish out dead like that. It was slick. This is me. I don't know. Maybe they'll be upset. Honestly, I thought it was pretty fucking funny.
Harold, I have to work behind the scenes and behind people's backs a lot.
I know,
It's
it's
not
what you do
something that
best.
he likes.
It's just
I know. It's why, despite my own reservations, I am going to trust that you're doing what is in the group's best interest, and I will not interfere with your work, whatever that may be.
it's real subtle.
However, I have a request of you.
I do request I pull.
I
out the
want you to
accordion.
come with me. I'm going to see. No,
What?
I-
Oh, I don't know your favorites. All right, I put it away.
I'm going to be seeing Davil soon. At the end of the day, the Doom Raiders taking a greater chunk of the city's underworld is going to be a good thing for everyone.
I trust him.
I'm
more
going
than
to
I trust the
convince him
others.
to begin pushing it. That's as far as good as we're going to get.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I want you to tell him what you told me.
About what?
I want you to try to convince him to back our play in the field ward. I think if we had the backing of one of the major factions behind us, it would be much more effective. And we wouldn't need to throw them in front of it. They'd have the backing of one of the major factions. Davil is tentative about doing this for obvious reasons. However, you have ways of convincing people that I don't. Despite being a Harper, I would ask for your help on this. Can I count on you? If you say no, I won't be upset. I understand this is compromising.
I just want you to understand he doesn't like me. You know that.
I do, but
He already distrusts me because I'm a Harper. Granted, we did just work together on a mission. Maybe he sees me in a more favorable light. That much
Harold-
having been said, I agree. I think it's a good idea to get some level of protection, even if the level of protection's a little shady sometimes. Your crew is not a bunch of murderers. I think that if we had some people watching the backs of the field ward while we train them, that's not such a bad thing. Devil is going to be looking at an enormous vacuum of power. I've met the guy, and I know he's on the up and up at least somewhat.
Are
Maybe
we on the level that they're going to get half, at least?
I don't know about that. That's up to everybody. That's not
And
something
that's
I
the
can
thing
say.
we need to talk about next, is where the money goes, because we are so close to completing this stone.
Let's wait until we have the final piece.
This needs to be our priority.
I agree.
All right.
I want to get the stone done. That's
Then
what
what
I'm
I'm going to do. Then what I'm going to bring up tomorrow will be a plan of action to finish it. We know somewhat. We know a few clues that I haven't had time to bring up to the rest of the group. Things that could be helpful. And we know that the last stone is held by a noble house. That needs to be our priority next.
I agree. 100%.
Agreed?
Yep, absolutely. And
All right.
the devil, 100%.
I'll
I'll
let
try.
you get some. Thank you.
Yeah.
I may take Vinley as well. He seems to be more favorable with me whenever she's there.
Hey, that would help me too. If Finley was there, that would probably make it easier for me.
So, thank you.
Just
for
make sure
listening.
Vinley's comfortable with it, because I don't want Vinley to actually kill me afterwards.
Vinley is never comfortable with it, but I'm just slowly accumulating a debt to her that I will pay back, no doubt, by absconding with the corpse of a giant or something like that.
That you making another? That's another leg joke. Was that? I think that one was a leg joke. I'm almost certain it was.
No. Damn it! I've been in here too long. I'm making it too subtle.
Harold's gonna walk over and give him a hug, and he's gonna say in a very genuine tone, he's like, "Genuinely, man, it's good to be home."
Aw, they love each other.
Boss just sighs.
Harold grabs the other pillow and tosses it at it. Ah, sorry. All right.
I don't think this team would exist without you. So I'm glad you're here.
Oh, I trust in all you more than that. And he gonna wave with his foot.
But I go back to my room.
Yep. And as
next day.
Yep, as everybody winds down and take a long rest, we're gonna go to break. So,
Oh man, some crazy stuff has happened.
whew, man.
Thanks, Todd.
Yeah, Todd.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
Amazing.
So we'll be back in about 15, 20 minutes. Don't forget, we have 2 giveaways tonight. We're giving away
Technically 3.
technically 3, but we're giving away 2 sets of Mythic digital dice on D&D Beyond. So 2 winners for that, and then a Eldritch Foundry miniature. And they're soon to be releasing a whole bunch of new stuff. So be on the lookout for that.
3 natural 20s. Mythic dice.
3 natural 20s
3
with the
natural
mythic
20s,
dice. You
indeed.
won these.
Yeah.
Really
You
cool.
almost beat my 4 in a row.
Mm.
So-
Oh, that's the record.
That's
Nice.
right.
We'll see you guys.
We'll be back soon.
in about. Hey everyone, and we're back after a lot of chaos ensued in the sky and in the streets, and then later in the tavern when Harold made his entrance with a giant baby arm for a leg, thanks to Adrian.
Sounds like the most Rick and Morty thing ever. And it's your leg. It's a giant baby arm
arm.
leg. It's the baby arm of a giant, but it's your leg now.
Yeah.
They go upstairs to discuss what had happened to Harold when they noticed a letter from the Rose implicating that he was the masked lord messing with the tavern. Later throughout the night, Harold and Voss have intense discussions about what is to come of the field ward in the future and how their two factions will work together.
Yep.
But other than that, everyone has a restful night's sleep, and you wake up. You're all...
Oh, except for you, Seisha. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Unless otherwise stated, you make your way downstairs. You have a breakfast prepared by Javier and anything. So all of that is out of the way. What would you guys like to do today?
I would like to call for the meeting in the common room whenever everybody's done eating breakfast.
So that sounds good to me.
Sure.
Ooh,
You find yourselves all finishing breakfast or bringing the remnants of your breakfast up, and you all gather in the common room, which hasn't happened in some time since you haven't been home for some time.
I'm gonna bring a morning wine up with me, just guessing what this could be about. She's like, I'm gonna need this one.
A little more than wine.
Yay, day drinking!
Group of alcoholics. Great.
Hey, we don't go to meetings. We're just lushes.
If the shoe, or in Harold's case, the glove fits.
I'm not over 25 yet, so I'm just fun. I don't have to go to meetings yet.
Okay.
Just fun.
Okay. You're
Yeah.
meeting time.
Gotcha. So, first off, good job, everyone. We managed to kill a great evil in this city.
Sir, yes,
I
sir.
asked Rainier about...
I was going to say thanks, Dad.
I couldn't stop. I got my report card back. You're not going to like it.
I talked to Rainier about collecting a favor from Silverhand for doing something like that, either collecting a bounty or potentially getting some sort of reward from the city. Hopefully he'll come back on that. What I wanted to talk about next is our next move, specifically finishing the Stone of Golor. That needs to be our priority right now.
Not something we should do right on. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was saying, in relation to that, I think something we have to do, and as part of whatever ritual goes on with all that, we're probably going to need to do the book at some point too.
We're going to have to go get the fish.
We have the fish.
Why do we need the fish?
We have the fish.
What? What?
We have the fish.
We have the
That's
fish.
not an issue.
When
we
did
have
we
the
get the fish?
I got the fish.
Voss has the fish.
You would have killed us with the stupid fish. I mean, luckily we did it. Things worked out. So, like, I guess you have bragging rights for that. But what the fuck?
We were in an area with a mind flare, an ability to rip things out. We needed the fish.
Boss, that's always your excuse. It's always something can read your thoughts or whatever.
But it's the right choice in this case. By getting the fish, he pulled Xanathar out of hiding. By pulling Xanathar out of hiding, we killed Xanathar. Now the fish isn't dangerous anymore.
And we didn't know.
Yeah, but if we had known, there would have been much more of a chance that they would have known. In this particular case, being sneaky was the right call.
In every case, being sneaky seems to be the right call.
We got lucky.
I don't dress in badass armor and have a god that
you have fine.
Look what my god gives me, okay? Look at my god.
Not all information is meant to be known by everybody. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying that all information isn't to be known by everybody. It's just
it's a truth, and I need to remember that. I just get upset when important things are kept from us.
Well, that's why we're telling you now.
Kept. Now you know. Xanathar
I just found out last night.
Dead, so it doesn't matter.
How'd you find out last night?
Felt it through my hand foot. And I'm kidding. He told me.
Oh.
In any case, we now need to complete the last part. I want to share with you all the vision that I saw, because I think it might help.
Okay.
Specific place I wasn't sure of. It seemed to be somewhere underground, some sort of ritualistic or cultish temple. However, the symbol, and it's the symbol that was on whose head?
Tilly.
Tilly's. On Tilly's head was there in the center of it, along with a number of masked figures. The other thing that struck out to me, you look like you're going to say something, DMs.
The symbol was on their foreheads.
And
On
in the
their
center
foreheads.
was a black nebula, third eye, like an actual eye,
Okay.
not a tattoo.
An actual eye.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I relay that part of the information to the group. Aside from that, they weren't asking for the stone. They were asking to seek the aboleth. I don't know what that is.
Can I roll to know
Any
what an
idea?
aboleth is?
Go ahead and roll Arcana.
Well, with my, can I have advantage with my research that I had done?
No.
I never came across that.
You can make the check.
Okay.
Like a fancy name for his eyes or something?
Oh, that's going to be a 23. I rolled a 19.
24. I rolled an 18.
I hate you.
You both know exactly what an aboleth is. And as you're thinking about it, Seisha, and the research that you did and the three eyes, you remember that vision you had at the dark, black, sandy beach and the monolithic, giant, meteor-like thing that crashed into whatever that body of water was that you were slammed into, and the water around you become viscous, and you were met face to face with one of these long fish-like creatures with multiple tendrils that reach out from it, and its eyes as it peered and talked to you telepathically. Vinley, you know what an aboleth is. You know that they can change the consistency of water. They are telepathic and from the far realm and very formidable foes.
Oh, Voss, that's
Great.
not good. When we were in the far realm, I had a vision, and there was an aboleth in it. They're really bad. They're really bad.
She doesn't overstate how bad they are.
I think any of us up into the far realm know how bad it gets, and it can only get worse.
Yeah, it gets
All
worse
right.
when you involve an aboleth.
All
Do
right.
I know what aboleths consume?
No.
Okay.
You do not.
Okay.
Another thing we know is that the last eye was held by a noble house.
Castellaners.
Maybe.
That thought has crossed my mind as well.
They're the ones who said they were searching for the stone. It would make sense that they have one of the eyes.
Theomeliana, Harold, have you ever been on the Castle Lanterns estate?
Many
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, a
Our whole
lot.
lives.
Yeah, pretty
How
much
big
grew up
is
there.
it?
It's
Fuck,
pretty big.
Freaking massive, dude.
It's
Big.
big.
Big enough to hide what I'm talking about deep underground.
You could hide that in
Probably.
a cupboard drawer.
There are parties coming up at the end of this 10-day.
I hate lying to them.
You just have to understand that we have, I know you guys don't trust them, but we have years of experience. And I know that means absolutely nothing coming from me, so I'll shut up. I keep thinking about.
It's just my
Let me
gut.
just
My gut.
let me just mention I had years of experience with the person who betrayed me and stabbed me in the back.
Well, I also have that experience. So
Their children's lives are at stake. I imagine they'll stab anyone and everyone in the back for that. I kind of get it. I'm not even mad about it, but I
But
still
how do
hate
we-
lying to them.
How do we find out if they have it, though?
We would have to be on the estate. That's just it. So we may have to wait until that party
Wait,
in order to get on.
What was the group do? They said something about an aboleth, the people in your vision?
All they were asking for was to search for the aboleth. They seemed to be conducting a ritual of some kind I didn't recognize. Beyond that, and the markings on their heads, there was nothing else, which had an actual eye in the center, not just a tattoo.
Is there any sort of scrying that can reach across planes? I mean, maybe that's what. Maybe they're literally searching for the aboleth.
No. I don't know.
I
would imagine there is. I mean, Orkira can send us messages. And
Voss, with your keen mind, you remember verbatim what that vision was.
And in the voice from the void, you heard, "Find the aboleth, prepare the harbinger." And then you heard the group say,
"Behold the fates rewritten, and you will know me as the one true being, Alpha and Omega."
As
when you guys do that in unison.
And you remember that as the ending of the ritualistic poem that you've seen multiple
times with these cultists doing this ritual.
Okay.
You also know that from the first
relay
vision.
That information to the group. See the genuine.
Yeah, you also know from the first vision you were given of when you first saw the Xanathar's lair. It was vision of key, vision of stone, location.
Yeah.
And stone being eye.
Yeah.
I know. I relay this information to the group.
The harbinger again.
Does this change anything?
Well, we can put a name to the thing that's still giving us shit.
So,
wait. Seisha reaches over and grabs a notebook and starts flipping through it.
Tilly was working undercover in trying to infiltrate a cult. What if one of these noble families are tied up in the group that you saw?
I'd say that's a high possibility of that. So let's say, for the sake of both of you, let's say it's not the Castle Lanterns. Who else in this city could it be?
Oh! Remember when we were in the cavern in the field ward and the cultists did the recitation?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same line. The blessed are the fates rewritten, and you will know me as the one true being, the Alpha and Omega. They said that at the end of their incantation.
What does that mean?
Well, we thought they were cultists of Bahamut, not Bahamut, Tiamat, right?
But they were not.
But they
Oh
weren't.
yeah, the dragon.
And they
It
completed
wasn't-
their ritual.
Oops.
So we've seen the ritual.
Or a different kind.
If it ends with the same incantation.
In any case, finding out who this noble family is, where this location is, needs to be our top priority. Anyone who has an estate large enough to potentially hide this, or any locations that could do this, I don't think we're going to be able to get into a noble estate unless we're allowed to be there. I took a tour of the Rosnars not too long ago. That place is heavily fortified. Expert thieves would have trouble getting in and out.
There's no chance at all that they have it?
If they do, it was out of the eye's sight, out of the stone's sight, so to speak. Nothing occurred there.
Unless they had a lot of holdings outside of the manor. A manor like that would be such a safe place to keep it because it's almost impossible to get in. So that would say to me that it might be somebody else.
That brings up a good point, though. All of these places had to be built at one point in time. Are there records of foundations, blueprints, things like that? Something that could be investigated?
Probably, but I mean, I would imagine that sort of situation is you know, in this day and age, as dangerous as this city is, I imagine people are very mum's the word on that stuff, and it's probably tied up
you
in
would probably
guild
have to
bureaucracy.
be a guild member of rank
Yeah,
with the Masons Guild.
You're probably going to be looking at some serious bureaucracy to get
Mert
to
might be
anything
able
like
to
that.
help, or you, Voss. You've gone and met with them.
I've met the guilds. I don't
don't-
think they consider me an ally.
I don't
I
think
imagine
they would
if
give
you
up that
start-
information, honestly.
Yeah, and if you start sniffing around for that information, it's only going to be a matter of time before they catch wind.
It's an avenue to consider.
It is, but it's a more desperate avenue, I think.
Hmm.
I know. Venley, you could go and flirt and bat your lashes at someone high-ranking in the guild, and
Let's say that that's a strong plan C.
Aisha,
Yeah.
have we ever seen Venley flirt?
No.
Okay, I'm just gonna let that sit.
I have, but we were
What?
both. Yeah, we were both extremely drunk, and it wasn't with me. It was things said while we were both really, really drunk.
There are
about-
these blue smoky tendrils coming off of Vinley while
Let's
everyone's looking at Harold.
drop this conversation immediately and get back to the task at hand, please.
All right.
So,
I was just thinking espionage.
beyond that, that leaves us with another part. I know a lot of people in here have wanted to start helping the field ward.
I've been helping. them.
However, but something more direct. Seisha, you and I talked about buying a building, actually.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to this idea. However, I am opposed to the idea of starting another inn or bar there. Let's face it, none of us really know how to run a tavern. Kara's been doing that mostly for us.
Kara and
and Renair.
And Renair.
Yeah.
I think it would be much more beneficial and something we could all participate in to start a mercenary guild there and to train the occupants there as, say, for-hire guards exclusively curtailed to the field ward. It's also something everyone here could train them.
But
But
I don't like the for hire part. Otherwise, I think it's a good idea. I mean, if we train them as a protective force for the field ward, I would be okay with that.
there's another aspect of this we need to think of.
Which is?
With Xanathar dead, the balance of power has shifted hard into the hands of the Zentarum. There are going to be a lot of very strong mercenaries looking for avenues there. It may behoove us to present them with another avenue that is less destructive.
Present who? The
Yes.
Mercenaries may be moving from Xanathar looking for new work that aren't looking for something that's quite as destructive as entire coliseums falling on them.
oh
We have rare in our possession actual coin with which we could begin to sieve mercenaries off of the Zentarum and into
Oh.
something more productive.
oh, you mean hire mercenaries, not train the people in the field ward as mercenaries.
More
Both.
like a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Both. If we
You should
establish
train them to be mercenaries.
I don't
It's
like
kind of fucked up.
I don't like that.
Why? They have every right to learn how to be able to defend themselves. and to
Defending
learn that they
yourself and
take care
becoming
of.
a mercenary are two completely different things, boss.
Hey, you're a mercenary.
We're all mercenaries.
It doesn't mean everyone's supposed to be one.
If they
I think,
want.
I
I'm
think
not
what they're saying.
we've-
I think what he's saying is that by being mercenaries, it gives them the option to either defend their town, which we are training them to be guards and have a town defense, but it also gives them an opportunity if they want to go make money for themselves, they can.
It also gives incentive because they're being paid. We have rare coin with which we could pay people, actually.
So it'll just be a city full of mercenaries.
It
Um,
would be their choice.
I
I
think
mean, yeah,
we
it's
can't
your
force
choice,
anyone
but
to
like,
do
I don't
this.
think we should approach them and be like, "Hey, you should be a mercenary, and here's why." Like,
Well, no, I don't believe.
We just killed the Xanathar.
So
That's going to spread. And that's something that people who are looking for work would want to join. We've already proven ourselves capable of killing one of the most powerful beings in this city. We will attract attention there, and we will attract strong followers and those who want to learn.
okay,
This is a time for us to make real, lasting change.
obviously I want to help.
If you want to think of it as a militia, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But either way, this solves a lot of our problems.
Obviously, I have no
And a
issue
lot of the
teaching people
problems
how to
in the
defend
field
themselves. Obviously, I have no issue teaching people how to defend themselves, but it just kind of feels a little weird where it's like, hey, by the way, this is the career you should do too. Like that should be their choice. You shouldn't encourage them to do it.
Why don't we do this then? Why don't we let them know that we're starting a mercenary company? They are welcome to join if that's the path they choose. Otherwise, we're still going to teach for free how to defend and protect themselves, that it's not contingent on becoming a mercenary.
So we're forming a business.
Oh, no. I don't.
If it's a mercenary company, it's forming a business. There's going to be a lot more.
I don't have any intention of running anything. I think that if anything, we need to set them up so that they can run things themselves.
Eventually, yes.
And then become their own gang, I guess. But that's fine. It's up to them, I suppose.
I think that the focus should be less mercenary work and more towards guards.
I agree.
But that much having been said, he's right in that they need some sort of incentive sometimes.
Well, guards get paid.
I think maybe this sort of situation, we start them off with the idea of defending themselves and keeping the city safe. And we build from there and let them, whatever direction they want to take it from there, they can take it.
I have a question, a legitimate question, because I don't come from a city like you. What's the difference between a guard and a mercenary? Is it who pays them?
Mercenaries are for hire from anyone.
Yeah, and guards don't necessarily like have the right to kill whoever
guards
they want.
Uphold the law. Mercenaries have
their
own code.
The Waterdeep guards get paid. Either way, we need to give these people some incentive. We need to pay them.
Oh, I think
if we want to train them as guards, we still need to pay them. However, if this company can attract powerful mercenaries away from Xanathar, I think that thought should still be open.
I agree with that. We could pay them to train these people for when we can't. We can't be there all the time.
That's an idea.
And if they're in our employ, then they have a few powerful mercenaries there to help defend the field ward when we're not there. These guys are looking for work. They need money, and we can turn them around into something positive. I think it's a net win, and it's a good compromise from both sides.
So we're building an army.
No, we're not building an army. We're setting them up with people that will be able to defend them if something happens. As of now, if there was an invading force, they'd be the first ones flattened.
That's what an army is.
Here's the thing, V. We've got to look at it this way. We care about the field ward. We've been putting a lot of effort into the field ward.
Yeah, and I said I would help teach them how to defend themselves.
And if something happens and someone wants to go after things we care about, the field ward is a very easy target.
All right. Whatever, you guys. I mean, obviously doesn't matter what I say, so I'll just follow you guys.
It does matter. But we're having a discussion, and when you discuss, everybody gives their point of view, and I'm listening to you, and I agree with you. I don't like the idea of creating an army. I don't like that, but I don't think that's what we're trying to do.
It's like not only are we creating an army, we're manipulating them.
With
money.
I'm not okay with manipulating them, but they need a source of income.
How are they going to do it if they don't? I mean, they don't have these weapons. They don't have the uniforms. They don't have any of the things they need.
We're also teaching them to read and write and other stuff.
We are, but there's limited resources for them that's going to offer. People in the city aren't exactly jumping at the bit to hire people from the field ward. That's the harsh reality.
We have the money.
So much we can offer them.
And once we get them on their feet, we won't need to be paying for them anymore. They'll be able to make money for themselves, but we have to get them on their feet. We are the only ones trying to do that.
I find it very hard to believe we have money to pay every single person in the field ward.
To them, a gold lasts a lot longer to someone like them than to us.
Yes.
They are used to nothing. With even
more than that, This makes helping the field ward easier because when we establish ourselves, they come to us with problems as opposed to us having to search the area for it. We already know. I have
Kind of
already
like a
learned
king.
something.
V, that's not fair. That's not it at all.
It's just
That's
how it
not
feels.
it at all. It's not. It's more like a guard. We're like a guard for the field ward when no one else is helping them. We're there to protect them.
Okay, well, if you guys want to be in charge of them, okay, I'm just here to help them.
I don't want to be in charge of them. Why would you?
I don't know where this is coming from.
V, is this?
Well, I guess we'll come back to this. Let's focus for now on the stone then.
Very well.
So what do we need to do for the stone? We have to find the third eye.
We have to find the third eye. We know it somewhere.
We should
So-
complete the book because I think that's going to be part of it.
Yeah, we'll have to
Agreed.
wait on
We have
that
to have
though.
the 3 rings.
Let's get the eye first before we complete the book. I would say.
Yeah. Because we don't know what I don't know how those rings factor in at all.
I
We're
think the
still
rings are going to
missing-
be part of opening the door after we have the eye complete. But
They'll be part of the key. But we
I-
won't have a complete picture until we get the third eye, I think.
But Voss, don't you think it would be a good idea to have all the pieces done before we get the third eye so that we can just go straight down? Otherwise, we're going to have to take an extra day or two.
I disagree. I think I want to know where the eye is because the longer we don't have it, the more we risk somebody else trying to grab it and then it gets too far away from us.
Well, we've got a 10-day till we have a guaranteed entry into the Castellaners estate. So we've got
We
time to
don't-
figure out how to get into the others.
So let's start eliminating suspects then. And let's start figuring out. We'll leave the castle entrance for the last since we're going to be heading there anyway. It's time to start thinking about.
I hate to say it, that honestly
Um,
does sound like the most logical place it would be. I don't want it to be that, but man, that does sound like what it is. I mean, but even then, I just don't. Okay, we'll say the Castellaners are a high possibility.
I don't want this to be true.
I don't
know,
either, but
yes.
but we have to. Let's be honest with ourselves. We've been betrayed by just about everybody we've run into so far. So let's say the Castellaners, sadly, are a high possibility.
But it's not a betrayal if they have it.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
That's true because they don't know that we know we even need the eyes. They just told us bring us the stone. So it's
Yeah.
very possible that they don't see the, we're not entitled to the information they have. So let's say that they do have it. We can find out at the end of the 10-day, or we could do a bill and dill and go in there with V and say, hey, any news from your end or whatever, and then we'll know for sure as soon as the stone says something.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I have an idea.
I'm already excited. Tell me.
Okay, so we can pick one of the other families and I can go to their residence and tell them that I am compiling a book for the font of knowledge about all of the different noble families, and I would like to sit and interview them for the book.
Are you
And-
doing that? Are you making
I
that?
can, yeah.
Okay.
That's
And
actually
then-
not a terrible idea.
And I can cast locate object while I'm there to see if I can find the eye.
We could also, and I know
Because it worked
this-
when I looked for the one down in the Xanathar lair.
Oh, you're right.
Okay.
it-
I
We
it's-
would still need to shore up that list if we're going to do that.
and given your paladin duties, it also means you'd have to finish that book. Which, let me go ahead and tell you, it's going to be painful writing that thing. You know
Oh, I
that all
think
the
it'll be
estates
fun.
look fancy and all those people look real nice. Let me tell you, the most boring people on the planet. Every last one of them. It's
Oh,
it's
Harold.
absurd. They only care about the forks. I swear to God, the forks. I can't tell you how many times I've been yelled at about forks.
Harold, it's only on the surface that they seem boring. When you get deep down into the nitty gritty, they're terrible people a lot of the times, and they have great stories.
A lot of the times.
They're probably
Not all
not
the
going to
time.
tell you those details though, because they want to be put down in a book as being
Well,
noble.
that's where all the questions come into play.
Well,
Are you going to zone of truth the interview?
So, hey, Harold.
yes.
Harold,
I mean, I could.
Just so you're
Should do
aware,
that.
because Harold has done the research into noble families because you were trying to find the right one to get in on when you were first working your con. There are 81 noble families in Waterdeep.
I will lay that one out. I'll be like, so you would have to visit 81 different estates at least. I mean, some of them have multiple estates, so that's not really fair.
Then I make it even more enticing and tell them that I'm doing a book on the elite of the noble families of Waterdeep.
You will get 80.
My dad will never accept an interview
Will.
from you.
Yeah, no, I don't think your father
Harold.
would in a million years. But
Feel
we narrow
million.
down the list, and just the ones that we choose, I go and interview, and you guys go break in and root through the rest of their houses.
We
Wait.
still need a list, though. That's right.
Wait,
What?
my mom would.
Your mom would what? Oh, she
For a
let me interview her?
chance, she totally would.
The
If
Gathalas would
she
be another
believed
high
it was a
probability.
chance to make them look good,
Yeah.
she would do it. She just
So
probably have to trick her
Viliana,
somehow.
Harold, if we had to reduce this 81 list down to 4, and I agree House Gathala should be on it,
Yeah.
who would it be?
Castellaners, Gathala. I would probably think Rosnar's right. They're one of the ones that have like a shady past.
You're
correct?
going to have to go deeper than where I was in order
Yeah.
to get it. That's the only problem.
And
Their
then
estate is
my fourth one would
massive.
be and Harold thinks back to the noble that's on the list of masked lords.
You want that list?
I don't want the whole list. I just want I know there's one noble family I didn't recognize. And I can't remember what it was. I think it started with a T. You know, Harold probably doesn't remember
Bardock?
Thon.
that. They're a noble house, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
I'll say Thon might be it.
Does V know the Thons? Does she recognize that name when Harold says it?
You do. Hold on.
Okay. Do I need
You
to roll
said
history?
Castellanner, Gathala, and Thon so far, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And Rosnar, but
Yeah, you know the Thons are the leading venter in Waterdeep.
Yeah, it makes sense then.
I thought we went to their place and decided that they weren't.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that
Yeah.
they're probably out. So let's say it's a low probability and they're not in the top 4 anymore. So
Okay.
that would leave. Is the Rose a nobleman? I will say I think it might be the Rose.
Okay.
He has also asked for the stone.
Yep, and I will say that would be my top 4.
Where does he reside?
That's a great question. He's always inside the carriage you wish he wasn't in.
I was thinking more along the lines of an estate, but
He probably owns several with different names, and he's one of those guys that he just shows up.
I could ask Ariel if she could look into it.
You'd be putting her in crosshairs. I mean, she's good enough at the thing that she could probably keep up, but I mean,
if the Rose would go after people we care about, she's already in the crosshairs.
there is someone who could probably find that out pretty quick, but it would cost us.
Harold looks over down the street.
Yes.
Trench?
Yes.
Trench. It would be very expensive.
Yes, it would be.
Be
mean-
probably very worth it.
I've got a lot of
But
money.
it would be.
I
We're
was going
showing
to use it
ourselves
to buy
kind of
arms
thin.
for the field ward, but
Is that a
So was I.
joke? Is everybody making jokes now? Is that what this is? You can buy arms? Yeah. Oh, that's real funny. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Harold,
I'm kidding.
love
I'm
I'm
kidding.
sorry.
That was good
I'm
though.
100% kidding, Seisha. I'm sorry. It's so totally okay. Trust me. If one of you were in my situation, it would be endless.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
mean,
proud
it's
of
not
Harold.
our fault, Harold. It's not our fault. You've got a leg up on the puns, okay?
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Speaking,
I was gonna say, as Harold held up his hands, his foot hand also held up, so it was like, whoa!
That is really
speaking
weird.
of,
Thank
I
you.
think our first priority needs to be dealing with arm leg.
Oh yeah. Let's
That's gonna be distracting out in public.
Yeah, I really want to wear shoes again.
So
So-
let's. Oh, sorry.
Do you think they'd start giving you discounts on shoes because you only need one?
It's going to cost a tremendous amount of gold that we may not be able to spare to get your real leg back. Harold, are you okay with
I'm
the
100%
prostheses?
okay. Yeah, of course. I would.
Okay.
It's easier. It's faster. Let's do it. Can we knock that out? Can we knock that out?
Yeah.
Because I'd really like to knock that
I'll
out.
tell you what. If you guys want, I'll give you my money, and you go talk to.
I think I've got money. Yeah, I got money.
Okay. And I'm gonna go see
shit.
Cromley and Blastwind this morning, because I should probably check in with them.
Fair.
It was Blastwind who's my mentor, right?
Cromley.
Cromley. Okay.
Safe
Cromley's-
Cromley.
Saith Cromley is your mentor.
Cromley's probably, wondering if I actually meant to be his apprentice at this point. So
Fair enough. It might actually help us in our search, too.
how so?
Well, if anyone knows anything about noble families in this city, I'd imagine it would be those two stooges.
So you want me to ask
It
them
might-
about the noble
I'm just
families?
looking at avenues. If you're comfortable doing that, maybe. And if you don't think it'll come back to us,
That actually
That's
makes
up
a
to
lot
you.
of sense.
I mean, what do you want me to ask about?
it might be wise just to ask if any of the noble families have any erstwhile past. They'll bring up the Rosnars, of course, but see if anyone on the list that we've compiled. See
Okay.
if they know anything about the Rose, too.
Right.
It would make sense considering he's a criminal element, and that's something you could legitimately want to investigate without lying.
Yeah.
I also have a way to try and cut down the list a little bit. I have that theory that the cult that Tilly was trying to infiltrate, if the stone shows you where to go next, the noble family may be involved with the cult that the Force Grey are investigating.
Maybe.
I have to go see Vajra today. But if I were to ask her about that investigation and tell her that it had to do with the stone, she would know we would still have it.
It's okay if she knows, though, right?
She thinks the city's
I
getting
don't-
money.
Correct. And as of right now, this group is undecided on who exactly is getting the money.
Which
And
is
how
a
much of it.
conversation for another time once we have that eye.
Okay. Finley, do you think that's wise? But I'll leave this decision up to you.
I think it's one of the most surefire ways of getting possible answers about the noble families, but it also is a double-edged sword.
V.
I'd like to go with you whenever you do this, but I won't interfere in your conversation.
Okay.
V, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You look angry.
No, that's just my resting barbarian face.
Oh, okay. All right.
Really? No one's gonna laugh at that? Wow.
I chuckled.
All right. So
Oh.
I imagine it's so I give. Oh, shit. I've actually got to go with you on that, or one of us do.
What?
Are we all going to go as we get Harold's leg replaced? This is Logan asking the group.
I'm going to see Cromley and Blastwind.
I'm gonna go
Okay.
with Harold.
Okay.
I'd rather not see that as little as possible.
Come on.
V honestly finds the baby arm hilarious,
Okay.
and she's getting a little used to it.
The hand,
I
the
may
hand
just-
sits up.
Hey, come on!
You know,
I
I have all of my spells back today.
Put your hands up.
I will leave Vajra Safar to you then, Finley. I'll meet you up at a later time, perhaps. Something else may be happening today, but we'll see. And I will go with Harold and V, so we have money to deal with hand leg. Get that done.
Do you all have enough?
Yes,
think so.
I imagine so.
Okay. Well, then I'll meet you guys back here this afternoon.
Yes.
Okay.
Hopefully, unless another death tyrant comes screaming out of the ground and attacks us all. All right,
Oh,
goodbye.
I'm not worried about another death
Just
tyrant. I'm
another
worried about the rose
Tuesday.
popping up and killing all of us.
Yeah.
That one too. He can only get one at a time, though.
Yeah.
So, eyes
Yeah.
peeled.
Yep.
All right, so Harold and
Actually,
oh,
I
sorry.
have somewhere I would like to go. So I give Harold. Oh man, I give Harold 150 gold.
Oh, wow. I
For the leg?
take it
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'll go through my money first. And if I absolutely need this, I will spend from it.
Gotcha.
If I don't need it, then I'll just give you back this. Trust me, me losing this leg, 100% my fault.
But I depart from the rest of the group to do something quick.
Boss,
But,
it's at this time you hear a voice creep up into the back of your head.
Oh god.
At first, you expect it to be the stone, until you hear the assertive voice of a certain ebony-skinned dwarven cleric with a penchant for coin.
Hey, I have your friend. Bring the necklace and your pet if you want it alive. Cannon portal, Yaga's room, 1 hour. See you then, district.
So we all have what we need to do.
Yep. You okay?
You okay?
I'm good. I will see all of you later.
Okay. Insight? Is Voss good?
Your passive insight picks up. Yeah, he's real good.
Yeah, he's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just something
Okay.
happened to him for
Yeah.
the first time that happens to other people.
Yeah, he definitely got that. He had that woo, and then
Yeah.
got it.
Was not the first time. I had that honor. Thank you.
No,
Nope.
no.
That's the only reason I wasn't looking around the room.
Yeah. I remember that. That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to ride my horse and head
Yeah,
out.
so you all split up. V and Harold heading towards the House of Inspired Hands, Voss heading off towards the Yawning Portal, and Vinley, who we are heading off to the Blackstaff, and Seisha heading off towards Cromley. We're going to start with Vinley in the Blackstaff.
All right.
You enter once again into the ominous squat tower teeming with magic. Both the students and teachers seem frazzled and harried as you pass them by. The dining hall is filled with scholars poring over multiple books that you notice have to deal with storms, the weave, dark omens, netheries, old magics, the sundering, and more. Crazed discussions pass back and forth of insane and loose reasons to justify what has happened, including the birth or death of a god, the re-merger between Abil Teril, a dark omen from Talos, the Lord of Storms, or a war between storm giants raging overhead, and even the suspicion of a passing gargantuan elemental known as an Elder Tempest. You eventually make your way up the winding staircase back into the entry of the young Blackstaff. As you're facing the door.
Knock, knock.
As you knock, you get the feeling as if someone is watching you. After a moment passes, a shimmer washes over the door before it opens back into the lantern-lit war room office of Vajra Safar. You see the table is covered in 3D cityscape of Waterdeep with pinpoints of magical light placed over 8 locations throughout the city before she dismisses the enchantment, causing the raised wood to fade back into the surface and is now a smooth table once again. You can tell she looks flustered as she holds tightly onto the crooked and hooked black staff.
Junior Gray, I hope you bring me good news.
She bows, like kind of like a little respectful elven bow. I actually bring you wonderful news. So before the red sky swirliness happened yesterday, my companions and I defeated the Xanathar.
You see her like head tilt and her eyes squint towards you as if to read you. That is good news. Whispers have reached my ear. The Harpers had a hand in destroying their lair as well. Did you have a hand in that?
Yeah, I,
You and your friends are very formidable.
yes, we are.
Waterdeep needs more of you. Do you have any answers to the storm that filled the skies across Faerun?
Perhaps, but that's kind of more a personal question that has to do with one of my friends. And honestly, the rest of us. There's a lot going on, Madam Blackstaff. Most stuff that I don't believe I fully will ever comprehend. And there's rumbles of something coming to destroy everything.
You see her resolve falter for a moment.
She's overcome by stress as she turns and stares into the flames of the heatless firelight in the hearth.
You may not know this, but I'm only a year into this. Many think I'm too young, too inexperienced for my position, and these past few months have truly tried my temperance and my resolve. A strong presence of the far realm, and now this foreboding storm. Excuse my digression. These are my troubles, not yours.
You see her resolve return as she stands a little more proudly.
But those of us that are chosen to a higher purpose must answer the call. And I have a duty to uphold to continue the protection set precedented by the six before me.
You see her gaze linger on the staff for a moment before her head turns quizzically.
And excuse me if I speak out of turn. I don't believe it's right for you to burden yourself with everything that's going on. This is everyone's problem, and I, for one, am honored to be working under you.
I shoulder the burden. I do have Force Grey and the Grey Hands to assist me in saving and protecting Waterdeep. For that, I cannot thank them and you enough. You are all necessary. You are all appreciated. But I am the Black Staff, just as the six that came before me. I will shoulder the burden. Me and Laurel Silverhand, the Open Lord, shoulder this burden. Anything that befalls us falls on our hands. But I do not wish to bring you grave news.
Hey, it's kind of my style recently.
The Black Staffs, as she looks towards the staff she holds. Although, like me, congratulate you on your assistance in the demise of the current Xanathar. It was only the current Xanathar. Beholders can dream up manifestations and twisted versions of their fears or desires, often creating other aberrations in its wake. It is to their knowledge that the original worked along Manchun and the Zentarum. However, just as there have been many Blackstaffs, there have been many Xanathars, and has become not a name, but a title. It is assumed now, from gathered knowledge, that there have been at least 5 different Beholderkin to assume the title of Xanathar, but it is nearly impossible to tell. It is a possibility another has already taken its place, or one will in short time. I do not mean to hold a shadow over your victory for our city, but I think it's best you know what to expect so you are not caught unaware.
No, it's actually quite interesting. It's just like Manchun.
Manchun has clones. Beholderkin do not work the same. They are maddening replications of their mind, not a literal split of themselves.
I understand. I believe that's why we were able to best him in combat. Well, truth be told, he became a death tyrant.
Oh, you see her eyes kind of get wide a bit, and she tilts her head at that expression that you say.
Yeah, it was a tough fight, but invisibility is a great thing when used against a beholder.
Invisibility is a great thing when used against any foe.
Very true.
Be careful, though. Making yourself known by either attacking or using magic causes the invisibility to disappear.
Oh, yes, for some, but I've learned a way to do both.
Your magic impresses me every day. You grow stronger every day. You are very formidable in magic. I'm glad to have you as a junior gray.
I'm glad
Continue
to be
to
here.
do this, and you will earn the title of senior very soon.
That's wonderful to hear. I also bring news of our friend Zalafarm in the bay.
The dragon.
Mhm.
Is he still
He's-
working to protect the city? Have you aided him in seeing that we are something beneficial?
Yes, I had a quite lovely picnic with him and fixed a couple of his belongings. And I believe he's rather friendly towards me now.
That is very good to hear. Having someone like that in our bay to protect our waters. Is there anything you need from me? Or did you just mean to come and report, as I have asked you before?
I do have another question. Back when the dream happened, the collective nightmare between
I
everyone,
know of what you speak.
you mentioned that Tilly was working under Halam to infiltrate the cult with the tattoo on their forehead.
Tilly has a tattoo on her forehead. The cult, I did not know, had a tattoo on their forehead.
Oh.
Do you know what that tattoo is?
I believe it's connected to everything that's going on with the far realm.
That tattoo is the symbol of a dead god, or at least one that was perceived dead. His name is Arpenser. Halam has the same tattoo, but it is across his back.
Interesting. I believe that actually answered my question. But I don't currently believe I need anything else. I will continue to do my best.
And that is all I can ask of you.
She bows. One more thing. Do you perhaps know of a way to make skeletons more hardy?
There are necromantic magics that can bolster the wherewithal of undead. There are greater zombies and greater skeletal creatures. Is there a reason why you want to know?
It was just I had one, and he helped us defeat the Xanathar, and he was destroyed in the process. Well, he kind of pulled attention for a couple seconds before he was completely reduced to ash, and I was hoping there was a way to make one that was a little more hardy so that I didn't have to keep replacing them.
That is the way of undead, though, is it not? Is that not why necromancers use them so much? They can easily bring them back from the dead, and they are but cannon fodder, a meat shield, if you wish.
Yeah, if you look at it that way, but
I am not a necromantic expert. Neither are the six that came before me. That's why I've instilled and trusted Master Haman Kost.
He is very intimidating.
He is a Thayan. What do you expect?
Forgive me. I don't believe I heard you correctly.
A Thayan, a red wizard, the more colloquial term.
Okay. That gives me a lot to think about and digest. Thank you, Madam Blackstaff. I'm going to take my leave now, if that's okay with you.
Junior Gray,
Mhm.
thank you for your service to Waterdeep. She is forever grateful.
Feels good to do good. I did not mean to say that out loud. Goodbye.
She bows and the door closes behind you by itself.
All right, we're gonna make our way to Seisha. You find Saith in his humble home in Castle Ward, off the Street of Bells, where he goes over the training of spotting the details of not only a crime scene, but any situation. He then begins to teach you that everything speaks 1,000 words if you are willing to listen with an open mind, yet perceptive mind, and how the workings of those details tell a story. But he also warns you of the lies a story can tell for the one that the author wants to lead you astray with, often with the obvious details while you ignore the important ones. He then enters a private room for about 20 long, awkward minutes, while you sit alone at a table with Earl Grey, made with 2 sugars, one for you and one for him, before he returns.
And it was as if, like, as soon as you walked in, he immediately went to work. Like, oh, you actually did show up. But as he returns, he says, I have created a story in the room, one with a false and the other is true. Tell me about the person that I have fabricated. The test has begun.
Oh, okay. She will get up and walk into, actually, she's going to stop at the door, open the door, and just look at the room from the doorway.
Okay.
What do I see?
You see a simple smoking room is pristine, clean, and well organized.
A single red high-backed leather chair sits in the center facing a fireplace. An empty tobacco pipe sits on a stand resting on the mantel under a painted portrait of a proud man in fanciful noble's clothes. A few untitled books sit on the shelves on the wall under a small, unimpressive landscape of a field filled with horses. And if you would, make me either a perception or an investigation check. Your choice.
See. Let's go with perception, and I have advantage. Thank you, Sentinel Shield. Natty 20.
Straight up?
Straight up. I got a 16 and a 20.
Nice.
So that'll be with perception. That'll be a 22.
Okay.
You look further into the details. You notice the suede leather of the chair is dyed in a color embossed in a design that is extremely expensive. You notice the frame of the portrait is leafed in real gold and carved meticulously. You notice the wood the smoke pipe is carved from is a rich ebony mahogany and expertly carved. You crack open the books and find one on commerce, one on the lineage and legacy of nobles within Waterdeep, and another that tracks the celestial movements of the stars. Everything about this man that you can read oozes nobility that deals with trade.
Okay.
Now, as you look over, sorry, go ahead. I'll let you.
Oh, I was going to say, now that she's got the overall look of the room,
Mhm.
she's going to enter and just slowly walk around and take a look at the details of the room.
Okay. As you look over once again, trying not to miss any of those details, you start noticing things are slightly out of place. The chair, although a very high-end piece, is extremely well worn after years of use. The smell that lingers in the leather is a rough, earthy musk of animals seeped into the cushion, masked by a spritz of citrus perfume. The charred residue of the tobacco left in the pipe is the same homegrown cheap plant your blind master Han, Kinji, used to grow and smoke. You also notice that of the 3 books on the shelf, the one that is the most well-worn is the one that goes into the celestial movements of the stars, as well as Selune and Sol, and the weather patterns throughout the year.
Okay. And just a question, this portrait of the field of horses, you said it was very nondescript, very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. This is somebody who wants people to perceive them as grand and wealthy, but their heart and their life truly lies in simpler fares. The portrait of the horses stands out to me. It's nothing spectacular, but in a room with such grandiose, or attempts at such grandiose trappings, they have this simple painting, which tells me that there's sentimental value to it.
So what is the man?
Well, I think there's 2 options. The man might be a simple person who enjoys the trappings of wealth, or he is someone who comes from lost old money and tries to maintain that image, but his heart isn't in it.
I did not ask for 2 options. I asked for 1.
If I had to pick one, the elements of the room are fine, but it seems like they're worn and old. I'm going to go with the notion that this is somebody whose family once had money, but they have come to live a simpler life. And though they have elements of their legacy, their heart lies elsewhere.
You were so close. You had it first. Someone that wants to be perceived as wealthy. The reason why things were worn is because they were hand-me-downs. A rich, noble person would be able to rebuy the things to replace. Now, the guess of a family that find themselves on hardened times was not a bad guess. That was a good guess. But if you tied yourselves to the painting was the farm. The book that is most well worn is an almanac. The smell seeped into the leather is the smell of a working man. The man was a farmer. Do not feel bad. You almost had it. And with more training, I believe you will have the eye. And out of play,
yeah,
you only got it because of a natural 20. The DC 22.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Boom. Thank
So.
you, Dice.
Very well perceived. I knew that you would be a formidable student, even if I did not want to take the time to train someone. So.
Why did you?
And you see him kind of look off and is remembering a past that he does not like to remember.
I'm sorry, I'm prying.
It is fine. It's what investigators do. I'm not as spry as I used to be. And so my old age caught up to me.
I have a question. If I can ask something off topic, change the subject perhaps, because I feel like I've caused awkwardness. I've been thinking about a project that I could do. I'm a lore seeker for the Temple of Ogma. And I've been trying to think of a project to do, and I came up with the idea of doing books on some of the noble houses. I'm trying to figure out which ones would make for interesting stories. Do you happen to know which families would have...
He walks into the room and he pulls a book, and it's Volo's Guide to the Nobles.
Ooh.
Is one of the books that was of the three, if you remember.
Yeah.
And he hands that to you. It's a little old, but it's at least the basics. But if you want... The Gathalas are new, 20 years. And for a town nearly completely run by humans, and Goliaths not really finding themselves entertaining the idea of settling down in a city and not being a nomad, which they are known to be, that seems odd. There's also the Castellanters.
Mm-hmm.
They have, in the recent, I'd say 2 to 3 years, ever since the disappearance of their son, have poured almost their entire net worth into charities. This could be grievances, or could be sign of guilt. I don't know. They could be pushing to have something fill a hole that's missing. But there's quite a few families. There are the Thons. They're controlling most of the vineyards.
Mm-hmm.
They do have a dark past, though. You might find a little bit of information about that in that book right there.
Okay.
And let's see. The Bellabrantas have the control over the entire Griffin, repository for
the
supplying
stables.
the city. So if anybody were to have control over something like that, they could have a small control over the city.
Hmm.
Is there something you're looking for?
Um,
There's also the Growlhuns, but they were most recently made less powerful.
yeah, I know a little bit about that. I'm looking for knowledge that isn't already in the font. There's so much there already, but not a lot of it seems to be current events. And so, since I'm a lore seeker, I figured this is something that I know is needed that I could go into. And I do have one other question, if I may.
If you stop asking questions, you're not doing your job.
Well, I think you'll understand why when I ask this one. Are you familiar with a man known as the Rose?
I've heard whispers of him. Not sure who he is.
He's, he's made threats against me and my friends. And I'm trying to find out more information about him.
From my suspects, he's a masked lord.
Really?
Yes, but don't tell anyone I know that.
Of course. No. Wow.
See him look back in the, towards the back of his mind, trying to remember something again. But
Do you happen to know where his home is?
no.
All right. The Masked Lord. Oh, that's scary.
Yes, it is. And someone that powerful trying to make threats against you, don't piss them off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... Yikes. Okay. Thank you, Master Cromley.
Remember, do not just see, observe. The world is full of obvious things by which, given any chance, nobody seems to observe. Then, eliminate all other factors, and what remains must be true, no matter how ridiculous or improbable it may seem.
Thank you.
But that also means don't just spout out anything that pops in your head.
Yes, yeah, I'm bad about that. I'm working on it, though. Just, it's different. I grew up alone and talked to myself a lot. So I sometimes forget that I'm talking out loud. Like right now, where I'm just babbling. I'm going to stop talking now.
Be careful, kid. Take it from someone who knows. This city will chew you up and spit you out once you see the cockroaches that crawl beneath the ornate Zakaran rug facade.
I'm kind of getting that feeling. Thank you, Master.
Do not call me Master. Just call me Cromley. Seth Cromley.
Thank you, Cromley.
So-
And she will make her way out. On the way back, I want to stop at Falla's and buy 4 healing potions.
Okay, easy enough.
Yep.
And
They're
40, 45.
45 each.
Okay.
Yeah,
10%.
yeah. So 45 each. So just knock off
Yeah.
180 gold.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
yeah, unless there's anything really important, it is a real simple exchange.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, she's just buying healing potions.
Yep, of course.
Okay. They greet you and send you on your way as they always do.
Yep, we're
This
gonna.
is truly God's work, what you're doing now.
The most important scene right now.
Somewhere in the city, Voss just smiles.
V and Herald.
Yeah, going to Veen Herald.
All right.
You're making your way to the Temple of Inspired Hands, or the House of Inspired Hand, also known as the Temple of God, where Twiggy and Nim reside.
Yep. All right. Well, you ready to see your leg options, I suppose?
Super ready. Let's do this.
I think they'll have some sort of catalog. You get to pick out what leg you want.
I'm more worried that they're not going to be able to remove the current one, but we'll see.
It's got to be possible, if not at least surgically.
Yeah. I'm going to head inside.
I let him go ahead of me.
You walk in, and I mean, this is a hustle and bustle temple with constant inventions and weird creatures and all sorts. As soon as you walk in, everything stops. And everyone looks at you.
Hey, he's got a baby leg arm. Arm
Oh,
leg.
thanks, V.
Well, they already knew. I figured I might as well all
you're-
right, keep moving.
All right. Everybody make way for Twiggy. So he can
and from the third story, you see the gnome with the top hat, with the pair of goggles and the monocle that extends as he jumps down in excitement. And as he does, he pulls a pack that he has on his back and he pulls it. And nope. And he pulls it. And he pulls it.
Can I try to catch him?
And then he like punches it, and then it finally ignites at the last second, and he slams into the ground a little bit harder than he meant to. But he's like, oh God, oh, almost got it. Oh, a few more kinks to work out. Oh, that hurt. Oh, yep, that's good.
You need help?
You want some healing?
I could pick you up at least.
Hmm.
Put you on back down.
I can heal you.
I'm good. I'll be fine. As he like picks up and you notice that the lower half of his right leg is mechanical and the foot is completely twisted around, and he just reaches down and re-pops it forward. And he like wiggles the toes a bit. Yeah, it'll work.
So is that like new?
Yeah. Anyways. Is that leg new? Because wow.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
I've never seen- Is that a giant's arm? Is that a baby giant's arm?
It's
How is
a
that
giant baby arm, yeah.
And he immediately like rushes down, pushes a button on the side of his monocle, and it telescopes out as he begins looking, and like he pulls like a pair of needles or tweezers, but they're like sharp on the ends, and he starts poking it.
Ow! Ow! What do you? And like you see the hand come up and flip him off. What is your deal, guy? Like, I still feel it.
You see surrounding you are all of the scientists and inventors that kind of work more with the chimera aspect of half creatures. Hip ostriches, armadillo foxes, things like that.
Yep.
Harold's gonna point at.
These
Is there
bears.
Zip Ostrich still running around in here?
No, we caged it. Should be fine.
Really, that thing exists, and you're looking at my leg like I'm weird? Is that really where we're at?
Oh, it's not weird. It's fascinating. It's incredible. I've never seen anything.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was possible. Take notes. This is possible.
Look around. One person's literally just like not even taking notes, just doing like doctor scribbles. Someone's drawing the leg and then someone actually is like writing notes.
That one's drawing a comic about me with like drinking tea with my leg. It is really really accurate.
Grabs you by the
That's
mouth.
actually the detail. Oh my god.
Yeah, and he pulls you in for science, my friend. For science.
Okay, that sounds like something a crazy person would say, but sure.
What potion did you drink in order to grow the leg?
Oh, he didn't. A trickster god did this to him.
Yeah.
And you see like all of them just kind of like throw their things down. They walk away. Like,
I'm sorry. I know this is. I see. Yeah, I wasn't gonna lead right in with it, but yeah, this is magic. So
We just need it fixed.
You need it fixed. What's wrong with it?
It's a giant baby arm.
Let me show you, and I'm going to run at full speed where I only run 20 feet because I'm and then I turn and I jog back to him and I finally stop and I'm like, that's the problem. So I need you to
I feel like the sound effect for that would have been boom slap, boom slap, boom slap.
Like do
like a weird horse.
The weird horse.
And he's like, I see. All right. What do you want?
Well,
what do you have? I don't want a hand.
Oh. Are you sure?
Yes. After an entire day with this hand, I can tell you it's not as good as you think it is.
All right. So you would like me to remove it and replace it with
a leg.
A leg would be nice.
Flesh preferable, but mechanical is also possible.
Oh, I don't deal in flesh.
Mechanical it is then.
And he's like, but can we keep it?
The baby arm?
Yes.
100%. It's all yours.
Done. Excellent.
You don't want to keep it, Harold?
No,
Dude.
what am I gonna do with it? Put it on the wall? It'll smell terrible.
I mean, it's kind of funny. It's a giant baby arm.
No, I'm not. What am I gonna do?
Oh no, that would make us look really awful, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
People
like
would think it was
we're
from
baby
people would.
giant murderers.
You're right. Never mind. Yeah, you can take it.
It's all yours.
Right this way.
He takes you back down the long hallway, across the into the large temple where there's the orrery and the giant telescope that looks up into the stars. And on one of the walls, you actually see splayed out like just a strung up human. And you recognize it very very obviously, Harold, as the Nimblewright that you melted the chest of.
Next to it is a chalkboard with a bunch of drawings and stuff like that. And standing next to that is Nim, the very fanciful, like coat-dressed Nimblewright that has the smooth face with the glowing eyes in the shape of a cog.
Wow.
He hears the...
Oh, yeah.
And cocks his head and then looks to Twiggy as if like, did you do this?
Twiggy just gives the double thumbs up.
Like everything worked out. Harold kind of nods as he passes. Yo, just continues.
And Twiggy's like,
attention to it.
you are going to be extremely excited to know that you're going to be the very first person to have my new contraption for removing limbs.
What is it called?
An amputee.
I love it.
How painful is this when it
Probably, most certainly, definitely, never, not, maybe, yes.
Is it like a guillotine? Like what?
Oh, it'll be fine. Come.
All right. I'm going to continue. I look nervously to V.
And he takes you back to a corner, and there's a table, and there's just gears and gadgets and all sorts of like craziness above it. And what catches you the most is the obvious giant circular saw.
And that saw, that's the amputee.
Yes. Lay down. Yes. Lay down.
I'm just gonna. Is you gonna feel it?
No, definitely not. Probably yes.
And
I'm going to get on the table, looking uncomfortably.
Do you need me to hold your?
Yeah, hold my hand. Like,
not
yeah,
baby hand.
Not baby hand. Don't hold the baby hand.
And walking up behind Twiggy and V, looking at you on the table, is Nim. And he goes, huh, inspiring.
Now, I want to be clear. By giving you this baby arm, you're going to let me have the leg?
Oh, no, you still have to pay for it. But I'll give you a discount.
Done. That sounds fair.
How much?
50 gold.
50 gold discount?
Yeah.
I think we could probably do a little better than 50 gold. I mean, this is a genuine giant baby arm.
I mean, how much is the total? Like, how much will it cost?
Yeah, what are we talking about? The total cost of the leg.
It's 50 gold.
Oh, it's 50 gold.
Oh, we'll take that. That's
we'll
fine.
take that. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll take that.
I mean, it can be more. You're right. It is worth much more. So, 250.
No,
I think we'll stick with the original. The original deal was good.
No.
You yourself would have been a much better leg for 250.
Oh, he's like, oh, damn it.
And here, bite down on this. It'll help with the pain. I hope.
Wait, I thought you said there wasn't going to be.
And him and Nim strap you down, and he walks over and pulls a crank, and the saw starts to spin.
So what are you guys gonna be shouting over the sound of the bus out? So what are you guys planning to do with the baby arm?
And he pushes a button, and it just and just cuts the leg off completely.
V starts screaming. I think Harold's screaming. I think we're both just screaming.
Take 11 points of slashing damage.
That was rather close to not the baby arm there, bud.
He's covered in blood. Harold's covered in blood.
And Twiggy's covered in blood, but he like pulls the goggles back up, and it's just perfect.
He takes the towel out of his mouth and throws it at Twiggy.
You see,
I should have done this with my axe.
See Nim's hand actually extend and then become like his fingers split and everything as it becomes like this round, like circular shape. It begins
to start reaching for the towel.
And it gets, it's not sharp. And you see it become, you recognize this very well also as he begins to heat metal.
And he puts it right on your leg.
I started shrieking.
These guys supposed to do this. I'm not a scientist. This doesn't look right.
You take 8 points
of fire damage this time as it is cauterized.
Are you supposed to be doing something with like nerves or something?
And Twiggy's like, so would you like a mechanized chicken leg, a mechanized hoofed leg, or a mechanized grieved armor looking boot?
The last one.
The boot.
Boot.
He wants the boot.
And over the course of an hour, this construct prosthesis is put on, which I will add to your character sheet. It will take an attunement slot for you to have full control over it.
Okay.
But you have a
fully functional,
no
detriments.
And
Any improvements?
as it finishes, you are
The mental images of this scene are going to carry me through my darkest days.
V
you
is
heal.
traumatized.
Yeah, and you heal 18 hit points from Twiggy actually healing you because he is a cleric.
He's just not the best.
He's just not the
Scientist
best.
cleric.
And that's more in tactics, not in his bedside manner needs some help. But Nim looks at you once everything is adjusted and strapped together. And so, how does it feel?
It feels a lot more normal.
Harold,
What?
I just realized something. If we go ahead and do the other leg too, you can wear the purple pants.
The purple pants, the legs would not survive it. And I'm not going to do anything that might risk my legs trying to run away from me again. Trust me, I know why the first one went. And I'm going to turn back and be like, this is fine.
Okay, I
this
just
is
thought
good.
I'd bring it up.
Yeah, I'm going to touch it. Do I feel it? Or is it like, I don't feel it, but it's,
No.
I can move it as though
You
it
have full control
over it, but you do not move it.
I mean, there might be a little phantom limb for a little while. You
Right,
think you
sure.
feel it, but at the sound of the words you just said, Nim goes, your leg, it became sentient, sapient.
I wouldn't say sapient. I would say sentient. I would say that it
Got up and walked away off his body, literally.
Yeah, it became like an animal that wanted to eat me.
Wait, how does a leg eat?
Well, it grew a lot of mouths at the time.
Fascinating.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was awful.
You see Nim he doesn't care about the mouths and part, but he's like, inspiring.
Yeah, it was something.
I would like to understand how something can gain sapience and sentience on its own. I am trying to understand the soul and life. You experience pain, and I do not. Is pain tied to the soul?
I think that I would say yes. Pain is a great motivator in most beings that experience it, and it's probably one of the fastest teachers, if not perhaps too much at once. I don't think that pain necessarily is a bad thing in small doses. I think that everybody needs something to hurt so that they can be more prepared in the future in case it's a dire situation. If you go through life without getting pain, I mean, how are you going to grow?
So would you say that I need to experience pain in order to be fully sentient and sapient? To understand what it is to have life, to have a soul?
I don't think you have to experience it. I don't think I'm an authority on something like that to make that kind of decision. But I think that once you've reached that level of enlightenment, the pain will come whether you want it or not.
Do you feel emotional pain?
I am unsure.
Hey,
And as you say
tell me
that,
about your parents.
you look as Twiggy's like, I think we have something to experiment with, as he's like fighting off the baby arm, which is like trying to attack him. I think we've got one.
I think maybe we should go.
The baby arm is sentient.
We should just go.
Have
Nim,
fun with the baby arm.
Nim.
Here's 50 gold. She just drops 50 gold on the ground right there.
He's gonna nod in respect to Nim and be like, I hope that helped. I'm not really the kind of guy to be answering those kind of questions, but I did my best.
You have experienced a lot of pain recently. It has been inspiring.
You get inspired really easily, dude. All right, let's go. Let's go.
And you see Twiggy like get it under control. Do you mind getting a field report of that?
Yeah, I'll come back. I'll let you know how it works out.
Excellent. Thank you.
See, don't let it. Don't. Oh, there. Oh, he let out the hip ostrich. Let's go. And we're gonna run out the door.
All right. And as you leave, we're gonna make our way to boss.
You make it to the ever-busy yawning portal. Oh, no, you wanted to go somewhere first, didn't you?
I did, if I've got time.
You do.
You have an hour before Istrid said to meet her at the yawning portal.
How much would a scimitar be from Aubrey and Emmerich?
Pull up the old list.
Thank you.
Scimitar is 20 gold.
I buy one with a quick filigree on it.
Okay.
That is simply labeled. Oh, fuck it, I don't know what to put on it. Just have it as. No, I'm not going to put his name on his weapon. I'll just screw it. I'm just buying it.
Okay, you can just put some, like, you don't have to put a saying. It can just be some filigree, some design. And if you want, you can either find one that already has it or have Avi just put something that he.
Either way.
Embrick, sorry. Avi's partner.
I'll just, without even role-playing for it, I will just go ahead and pay for that.
Okay.
Of course, yes. Yeah. That is with the
That
discount.
make my way over.
Yep. And you
Gotcha.
find your way back to the pack mule in the trades ward.
I go in. Resupply on oils, ropes, basic adventuring equipment, but also I'm looking for Reddard.
He's there. You see him. He's stocking shelves. And you see his uncle is also there. And
he is behind the till.
Behind the till. He nods at you, a respectful nod from behind the till. And, keeps his eye on the shop, but kind of moves further away to give you two a second to talk.
Okay.
Reddard looks at you and finishes putting some stuff up. And, hey, what's up?
We talk for a moment. I may not have an opportunity to see you again whenever the Force Grey training finally begins.
Yeah, come on. And he uncle and his uncle just kind of gives a nod like, you're fine, go on. I'll watch the store, and lead you back into that same back alley that you've sparred and trained at for a while.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel?
Say again.
How do you feel?
I feel good. I'm alive. My uncle's alive. Feel like I can finally do some good. I think
Yes.
I got a mission coming up. I don't know. I've got to go, I don't know, some mountain and talk to some monk. I don't know. But that's coming up soon.
Well, I'm sure it will be enlightening. In any case, I won't be able to see much of you. Things are getting busy for me as well. I just wanted to, before you left, I know you've been carrying around an old weapon for some time. I thought it might be nice for you to have one of your own, and I give him the scimitar.
He looks over the blade, it obviously being freshly made or very finely made, and not one that is pulled off of someone you may have had a scuffle with. As you see,
Yeah.
definitely sees that this was bought for him.
Yep. And he just kind of
Whatever choice.
takes it and he looks at it. He's like, pulls it, and he gives a couple well practiced flourishes with it. I've never used a scimitar before, but I like the curve. I like it.
It suits you. Know that from this point forward, every decision you make with that blade is yours. You are not what you were in the past. You are not the sum of what your father was. You're you. Use that blade to carve out your own name in the city and your own destiny. And you can start right now. And I draw both weapons. One last time. Come at me with everything you have.
All right.
And I'm going to fight with him for just 2 rounds.
Okay.
Okay.
You watch as he looks over you with an eye that he is trying to train. I need you to make me a deception check.
Certainly. Digital dice, you're still doing good work. 12.
A 12, okay. And you watch as he's almost like he's reading you. And as you go to move, he is going to try and hit you. And
Okay.
It was a 22 hit. Right? Or 25. 25.
Does.
Plus 5.
Yeah,
23.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he brings this.
Damn, plus 5 is training.
Yeah. And as he brings swings it on and he goes to hit you, because he read you, he is going to get his sneak attack against you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
That's cool. I mean, he may kill me, but still, it's cool.
He's going to do 11 points of non-lethal damage.
And
gotcha.
With the scimitar, it actually slides against your shirt and through, or your brigadine, and through the back of your coat, and you are actually hit by the hilt of it. That gut punches you, and you know if he wanted to, he could have driven that sword all the way through you.
I think the blade speaks to you, doesn't it?
I mean, honestly, if I'm going to be honest with you, you speak to me. I can read your body before you even strike.
And you probably saw this coming, and I attack. Boop. 21 to hit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Non-lethal, obviously.
Yeah.
So not kind of low sneak attack, but yeah, 19 points of damage.
Yeah, I mean, he staggers. It's like, yeah, I totally saw that coming. Like spits out a mouthful of blood, just like where he bit his lip from the hit. And he's like,
I then, as soon as I hit him, I back up 40 feet and then just wait.
All right.
And I'm inviting him to attack me.
He will move, bonus action dash as a action, and will come at you.
Awesome.
As you move, does a 16 hit you?
It does not, actually. Barely.
He'll take a swipe at you as you back away, if you did not disengage.
And then make a deception check again?
Yep.
Certainly.
Oh, you did? Okay.
12 again.
Okay. Again, you see him reading you as again he moves in, and that's another 23 to hit.
Respectable.
As he 13 points of damage this time.
Sweet. I will uncanny dodge this.
Okay.
Yes.
He feints as he throws his weapon and then turns as you go to block, catches it with his other hand, and then hits you with his fist, basically, again into the same spot.
You're supposed to get that. Actually, hold on. He can re-roll dice once.
Okay.
Add 3 more to that because he
He's
has
savage attacker.
savage
'cause
attack.
that's what you
now.
trained him to do.
Yeah. Yep. Awesome. I take it and legitimately impressed. I remember for a moment the young child we found back on our first day here that Harold and I interrogated, frightened young man, and now see a seasoned warrior in front of me. And for the first time in a long while, and maybe what he feels to be the last time, in what he feels will be an upcoming gang war, Voss feels like he put something good into the city. And I will take another attack on him.
Yep.
That is a 27 or 26 to hit.
Yeah.
Just barely.
You just barely got him.
25 points of damage.
Yeah, he goes down. He had 5 hit points left.
Okay.
He goes down. You knock him out.
Okay. I wait for him to recover.
Yeah, it's a little bit, but he finally comes to, and he was like,
Okay.
"Oh, all right, I've got attacking down. I got to work on that defense. Oh, that hurt."
Keep moving. People like you and me can't take the blows like the heavily armored ones can. But I have something for that. And leaving the gift wrapping on and remembering Sophia's for a moment, and against my own will, beaming a little bit at her gift and knowing that she would want it to be used for something kind and pure, I give Reddard a health potion.
All right, and he takes it
for your mission.
Thanks. And I don't have my. He's like in his work clothes. He's like, but I'll put it in my satchel when I get back inside.
Remember, you're your own man now. You do what you feel is right at all times, and trust that your instincts will lead you to good things.
Thanks. I really for everything. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I extend my hand.
He takes it.
Shake it.
He gave me a
I
second.
have to get going.
And I promise I'm not going to waste it. I feel like second lives don't come at every opportunity, so I'm going to do good with it.
No, they don't. Respect. Warrior, Reddit, member of Force Grey.
Not yet. I'm just a Greyhand initiate. Not Force Grey yet, but someday.
Not even that yet.
Yeah.
You got to earn initiative.
Yeah. Yeah. But be safe out there. It's a lot of bad stuff in the air. I don't know what that red sky was, but I have a feeling that you're getting in on things. Just be careful. I'd like a few more lessons, right?
All right. You do the same. Don't let any monks push you around. They're pretentious old asses, as far as I can see.
I'll take your wisdom to heart.
I leave, passing by his uncle, giving him a nod.
Did you want? You said you wanted to get oil and rope.
Yeah. The basic adventuring stuff that I use all the time.
Okay, a rope will be. How much oil do you want?
Because I've got the lamp, I would like as much as I can carry. So we'll say 4
flasks.
4 pints. Yeah,
Okay.
Plastic pint, like that.
And another 50 foot of rope.
Yes.
Okay. And anything else?
No, I think that's good.
It rings up to 14 silver, and he brings it down to 1 gold.
And thank him again for his generosity.
Last time I gave it
All right.
for free, but from now on, you'll just get a discount.
I'm not going to blame a man who needs to make money.
And I'm not going to blame a man that gave my nephew a second chance.
He's earned it. Don't let anyone else tell him otherwise. Goodbye, sir.
Good day.
And I kind of look behind me a little bit, but I shake off the impending feeling of guilt, and I dig deep into myself as I go off to talk to Orso about a great many things.
And that is where we're going to stop tonight's episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, great scene. Wow.
Oh my god.
Guy.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. If you haven't, make sure to enter #Beyond or #Eldritch for your chance to win Mythic Dice, which have been rolling really, really well for Logan tonight. Or creating a miniature from Eldritch Foundry. They have really cool stuff coming out soon, so you definitely want that miniature. Remember, enter only once.
Yep. #Beyond, #Eldritch.
If you want to know what happened to Harold, there should be a VOD.
There's a VOD on the Venture
Yes.
Maidens Twitch channel. It was an incredible block party event. I got to play in it yesterday. They raised I don't know what I think they were over $8,000.
Yeah, they were 8,234 when I left. So
and they had another game.
Really?
Amazing. That's
Epic
awesome.
level.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
So amazing charity they raised for the Trevor Project, a charity that focuses on LGBTQ plus community.
It was a great cause. Thank you to everyone that was there and donated and came over here. Welcome to D4.
Over 13,000 raised.
wow.
Final.
Oh,
So
wow.
that is amazing.
Also,
Wow.
if you didn't see it, was it Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Yeah,
was
Wednesday I was on Beyond
Harold,
Heroes.
that
Yeah.
is already on YouTube. If you can check the D&D Beyond YouTube, you can see Harold over there and find out
So
how and why
good.
he lost his leg.
So good.
And
Hold
then,
up. Harold,
Yeah.
does this now mean that people could use heat metal on you?
Oh,
Why are
wow.
you giving the DMs ideas?
Oh.
no.
Logan!
Genius.
let's go ahead and pull those winners, Bailey.
That's brilliant. I didn't even think about
The
that.
irony.
Oh, don't worry, we did.
You
Wait,
need
he-
to get
You
the
had
quick
the chance
snaps
of
like
having
I
to
have.
get your leg back.
I hope the chat really enjoyed all my cat cameos. Cheese has been very upset. He isn't getting attention.
I need
Pay
to
attention to me.
take a couple level of monks and then heat metal on my own leg and start kicking people.
Winner of the Eldritch Foundry miniature is New Lexicon. I'll be in contact.
Rock on.
We're pulling the D&D Beyond Mythic Dice. There are going to be 2 pulls for that.
Nice.
2 winners tonight.
They are so awesome.
They're really cool.
All right, our 2 winners for that is I'm gonna butcher this name. Suldan?
Solden. Yeah, as in like
Soldan?
soul, as in like.
Yes. Soldan and Twiggy Sick.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Sick.
yay to both of you.
So congrats to that. We will 100% get that info to you and get you those.
Sealed in. Okay, hey.
It's pronounced Seoul.
Okay, it is.
Sold on.
Okay.
It's a city
Solden.
in Korea.
Got it. I said I was gonna butcher it before I said it.
That's true.
I butcher stuff all the time. I don't word well.
Congratulations to all of our winners, and be excellent to each other.
May you always roll with advantage. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night.